What's going on, everybody? We got the Week 18 Print Factory Show coming to you live here. JSU with you. Always hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, show us a little love here. 18 weeks of straight free winners for the people, and we're going strong. We got the full team back for the last week of the regular season. There will be postseason coverage, but we'll get to that later. Bringing in my boy, Uncle Dunkle. What's up, Dunkle? How was the bet side?
Decent weekend overall. In my own typical fashion, I can't get the back half of bowl games correct, and I don't have time to correct it. But was off to a great start with bowl games, but that kind of went a little south. But decent weekend in the NFL overall. Can't complain. It started college basketball as of yesterday. Nice little 3-0 start yesterday. So looking to build on that, and looking forward to, considering I'm not capping college football anymore, moving full speed into college basketball.
All right, now I want to get to the real ODB. Please tell me we're in contention here for the final week of your Pick'em series here.
We're in contention for a top 5 slot. We're not going to win.
Okay.
Last week we faded a couple of basically free spaces, hoping that maybe one of them would lose, and just try to. Sometimes you have to be a little contrarian and go a little off the map. So we did, and also a couple of the strong plays didn't come home. So we went 2-3 on the main card. We went 3-2 on one that we're fighting for a quarter prize. We're in third place in the one we're going for the quarter prize out of 2,000 people, or the 6 weeks, I guess it is, for this one. First, like 100K. So we still got a shot at that one. We're, I think, 13th out of 2,000 in the Westgate main. So I think we're 3 games back of first. We didn't lose any ground of first place, but some teams jumped us. Teams that played the nuts that probably shouldn't have played the nuts, because they probably should have taken some chances to try to get first. But anyway, they ended up working out. But what was weird was the guy in first did not play the nuts. And so people gained on the first place guy. So he kind of played bad GTO wise. He should have just blocked us all out, which I assume that he would do, because that's what I would do. But anyway, we're still in it. We still got big cash prizes. I mean, it's still 6 figures. We still got chances at 6 figures in all contests. So not going to win the first place, but pretty good on the heels of the victory last year to have a shot at top 10 and almost for sure cashing. So that's pretty good out of 2,000 people. We'll take it.
Now, when you can't win the first place prize, ODB, is it still worth like being super contrarian in this week as well to get up more spots? Maybe not first, or is it something like where you're like, it's not worth it? Maybe we get, a few more spots up, but we're probably going to still be around the same winning. How do you like kind of work between that for the last week?
We haven't really discussed the strategy, but my guess is that we're just going to kind of play the best plays. We're not going to fade like super chalk, but if there's a close mediocre chalk, we'll probably fade it. The thing is, like, the big drop off is first to second. So it's worth it. Like, first was like 350 and second's like 100. And then it goes to like 70, 50, 40, 30, 20. So like we don't really know also if the guys above us might try to be smart and try to go off the grid, because they really have a chance at first. So, they might end up screwing themselves and we could move up to like third, fourth, fifth, or have a chance.
Because they're trying to win. They're trying to win first, and maybe we're doing that, you could jump.
Right. We're almost in the spot where we can't win first, but we can get like third through fifth or something, whereas they can get first, so they should probably try. But I don't know how smart most of these people are. Honestly, most of them are probably not that game theory smart with it. Based on the picks last week, I mean, guys who should have been going contrarian weren't, and teams that should have been going chalk didn't. So it was kind of fucked up. You kind of play that your opponents are going to play perfectly, but as we find out in DFS and in betting and in pools and in anything, like you're assuming your opponents are going to play perfect in poker too. Like, you're assuming that they're doing something because they're playing perfectly, but really they're just clicking buttons. And so sometimes we, give our opponents too much credit for doing what they're supposed to. So I don't know. I think we're just going to probably play the best plays this week, but I haven't really talked to my partner about it. We have a thing. We try not to discuss anything until later in the week, because once you start putting ideas in each other's heads, you start looking for confirmation biases. So we'll just kind of see. I mean, depends what opens up. Like last week, Green Bay, Minnesota, it's on the card at 6.5 and it goes off at 13. And so, I mean, it's kind of a free space. You had the Chargers with the Broncos COVID stuff. You had some other things. So, we don't really know what news is going to break in the next 2 days anyway to change and make more, if there's a lot of free spaces or one or even none, maybe.
Yeah, and for sure, in the way the season's gone, we never know what type of news is going to break,
Right.
and we don't know when it's going to break. So we just got to kind of wait and take the news and go with it. But I got to bring in the final man in the crew. I mean, last but definitely not least, the man Big T. I mean, Tony, we had PGA lock, NBA, NFL winners tonight. It was a long day for Big T. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I look forward to it, though. Got ODB back this week. We've had some ups and downs this year with a lot of stuff going on, but it's good to have the full crew back for the last week. Try to pick some winners going into the playoffs. I always enjoy the playoffs, too, both DFS and betting-wise. A lot of value out there. I always enjoy it. So it's fun, and ODB brings up great points, as always. DFS-wise, I think we give people too much credit a lot of the time because we're in this bubble with, frankly, a lot of sharp people. We're friends with a lot of sharp people, run pure communities, a lot of sharp people. And we give random people too much credit sometimes for making picks and DFS plays and everything else, poker-wise even. It's just people aren't as sharp as we want to think they are. And sometimes we all make that mistake of just everybody doesn't know what we know, and we shouldn't think of it that way. So ODB brought up a bunch of great points.
Yeah, you would think with all like the content going around and stuff, a lot of sharp people, you would expect people to kind of listen to others and take. I think in football specifically, people are really opinionated with their takes when it comes to football. And I always say everyone thinks they're a football expert because we have Twitter and we always just see all these random takes on Twitter, and everyone's got their own kind of, even like people who subscribe for our content. I think a lot of those people look for confirmation bias in the content where they can be like, oh, good, I was already on X guy, so I'm going with it because Big T was on him. Or I think that's how a lot of people view the content for NFL specifically. Now, for other sports like MMA, NASCAR, NBA, MLB, which we have everything at Run Pure Sports. So come on over, sign up. We got everything for one price under one nice umbrella. So check us out over there. But I'm just saying, I do think that that is something that people do more so in NFL than they do in any other sport, especially when it comes to our content and probably other sites' contents too, I'm sure. But I appreciate a lot of guys in the chat. Fran Millionaire said, I've really enjoyed the crew for 18 weeks. Thanks for another great year. The Print Factory. We got Wes in there. He seconds it. Print Factory's been fire all year. People are excited to see ODB, GOAT Show from Big T picking winners. He loves my guy, Big T. He's one of Big T's favorites, too. Big T loves Big T picking winners.
How can I not love Big T picking winners?
I don't know.
I'm obligated to like that dude.
It's a great name. I'm serious. But, so we appreciate you guys. We hope we can bring it.
Dude in the chat wants to know if ODB's played poker against old Dan Blazarian.
No,
ODB?
No, I don't really run in this. I don't really run in the Blazarian circles. maybe one day, but no, that's not my scene.
Kind of the hot topic this week with
with Doug Polk going around there.
Yeah, with
Doug
Polk
interview. I played with most everybody, but he's not a poker player. I mean, let's just be clear. He's a personality who plays poker.
Yep, and he's Armenian too. So I like that.
He lives quite the lifestyle. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
He knows a few women.
Yeah.
He might not be a poker player, but he lives quite the lifestyle.
Yeah, we got Josh in the chat. Smash the like button. I agree. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. That red box in the right-hand corner. Hit that red box. Subscribe to the channel for the fire free content that we give out every day on this channel, not just this channel too, the Run Pure Bets YouTube channel. I was on there today with my boy Spread, picking some winners on that show for NBA. It's looking good so far too. So hopefully we can finish out strong. So maybe later on I'll talk about them as long as they hit. No, I think they're going to hit, but we're looking good.
This tweet that just not to totally derail us because this happens. And then we start friggin' talking and then we're here for 3 hours. But Markieff Morris just sent this tweet about Jokic because he's missed 30 straight games since Jokic owned him. He said, ain't shit wild about it. It's a real injury. Imagine having a 300-pound sloppy fat boy run full speed and make direct contact with your spine. I'll be back soon, like I said. He called him a 300-pound sloppy fat boy right in the tweet. Oh, that's good stuff. I like arguments like that on the old Twitter.
What's funny is that 300-pound sloppy fat boy would absolutely own Morris in any basketball contest he would like to, whether it be one-on-one, 5-on-5. No, but he's like making fun of his weight, calling him fat. It's like that dude would smoke you in just about any type of like contest you could do when it comes to basketball or fighting, may I add. But yeah, that's wild. I mean, he don't want the Jokic smoke. He's a pretend guy. You don't want that smoke.
That is funny though.
No. All right, let's get back on track. We got to talk. We got like 15 games to talk about. I got to get through this Underdog. Make sure you check out Underdog. They got a promo code running right now. Promo code is Run Pure. Gets new signups up to $100 deposit match bonus for first-time depositors. So check them out over there. Use the promo code Run Pure to get Underdog. They got a lot of playoff best ball contests going right now for the playoff series. Pretty fun too. Nice $25 big best ball contest over there at Underdog. What's like the biggest
contest for the playoffs?
They got a $25. I think it's $1 million prize pool with $200K up top. It's a good little prize pool. I think it's you go 1 out of 6. So you got to win your 1 out of 6 first round, and I think there's 4 rounds all through the playoffs pretty much. So yeah,
I still have never used my initial deposit. I might have to dive in there. I deposited for that initial bonus, never did a single one, so I might have to get in there.
Yeah, check it out. I'm going to get in there and do some best balls probably after Sunday once we got the teams locked in, but there's an edge, I guess, to maybe taking a team or two and stacking them up that could make the playoffs, maybe not, whatever. So we'll see on that, but check them out over there. Promo code Run Pure. Get you $100 deposit match as long as you're a first-time depositor over at Underdog. So check that out. And again, hit that thumbs up. We got about 77 watching, 24 likes. Let's get those thumbs up going. And boys, anything else before we dive into this massive NFL slate? Anyone want to talk about AB's antics?
I want to talk about what seed the Cleveland Browns are. ODB, what seed are the Browns?
Let's talk about it. What's where are the Browns at right now? Case Keenum's finally a starter.
I can't believe I fucking bet the Browns versus the Steelers. I couldn't help but just look at the.
I like the Browns too. Is the worst part.
The line moves 6 points. I'm like, come on. I mean, all the best players on the Browns are like linemen and shit, linemen and running backs. That stuff shouldn't matter. Motivation. And Stefanski just goes back and lets Baker throw the ball 50 fucking times into the lineman's arms.
ODB, the best part is, so I call BigT. It's probably like 11. And I go to him, I go, yeah, man, I really like the Browns tonight, expecting him to like make fun of me, expecting him to like laugh at me and, all that stuff. I was really expecting him to be on the Steelers. And then when he comes back and goes, the funny part is I really like the Browns too. I was like, oh, this is perfect. No matter what, BigT can't make fun of me if they lose.
I didn't like it like one quarter in. I hate that team. God,
God.
Well, I mean, you hate Ben too, but I mean, here's the thing.
Like Ben right now.
I will say this, like, that's the thing I like about Tony and all you guys. And it's the thing that's really changed everything for me over the last 2 years is be willing to change your opinion and don't dig in, because things change. And also things are different each week. Matchups are different, motivations are different, injuries are different, players are different. I mean, everything's different. If you just sit in JSU does and say Cleveland's great every week, you're gonna fucking lose. Like, you got to be willing to move. You got to be willing to bob and weave and take a team one week and fade them the next, and take a player one week and fade them the next, and that's what it's all. Or ride teams that are different, and in one stretch of the season than they were at others, because the Colts team a few weeks ago was not the same Colts team that it was week 3. I mean, like, teams change throughout the season. So you can't just get necessarily, and I was just joking with you on that. I know that you play teams one week and not others. I was just using the Browns.
You're allowed to make fun of him about his Browns anyway.
You're good. I could go into Tony with Green Bay saying they were the most overrated team in week 7 ever. I could go into every single person.
I said
here,
Dallas was like the most overrated too.
You don't even make me pull the tape right now. You said the Packers, and I still have the tape.
What is that? I didn't deny it. So what are you talking about?
You said I said Dallas.
Yeah, I said both of them. That's my point.
Oh, you
said
I
said
both
Tennessee, and Tennessee's going to be the 1 seed.
Okay, but Tennessee, when Derrick Henry comes back, they'll be back to like Tennessee of normal.
I've said both 1 seeds are overrated. So congratulations.
You want to talk about something? I don't know what it is right now, but I saw a couple of days ago that Mike Vrabel is plus 350 to win Coach of the Year. If you can find that somewhere, I like that a lot. If they end up beating Houston, they get the number 1 seed with no Derrick Henry for basically 3/4 of the year, no Julio Jones for basically the entire year, no AJ Brown for half the year. This team is not that good right now. I mean, wasn't that good when you just look at like who's on the roster. They're throwing at Chester Rodgers and Westbrook, Akeen, whatever, Deontay Foreman, who couldn't even, play with the Texans, is all of a sudden good running back. You had AP running through there for a couple weeks, and this team's the number 1 seed in a conference with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson
and Joe Burrow.
And I mean, it's how is Vrabel not Coach of the Year? I mean, I don't know. That to me feels like a pretty good value there, plus 350. I don't know if it's still that, but if you guys can find it, I like that.
And anyone got the MVP winner? Is the MVP locked up for anyone? Does anyone have the old MVP pick? Who's winning MVP?
Rodgers is for sure going to win it. So
I said this a while back, and yeah, I guess it could be somewhat obvious, but the team that was going to be the 1 seed in the NFC was their quarterback was going to win MVP. So it does.
Whether it was the Bucs or the Packers, pretty much is what you're saying.
When I said that, the Cardinals were in the running too.
The Cardinals, yeah, that didn't work out. I said Kyler from the beginning. I bet Kyler to start the year. That did not work out. But
these leagues don't like to do the back-to-back same MVP. So I guess there's that narrative, and then you have the few people that just can't stand Aaron Rodgers that probably won't vote for him regardless.
For sure.
They should lose their vote too, by the way. If they come out and admit that they're not voting because they don't like him, they should lose their vote on the spot. Like, that should be a rule.
If one guy admits it, how many guys are closet just not going to vote for him because they don't want to deal with like what that guy's deal? I mean, like, Aaron Rodgers went right at that guy too. Like,
I'm sure as he should have.
Yeah, he called him a bum and just it was ridiculous. And yeah,
I think that guy might have solidified the MVP for Rodgers. Honestly, I think there might have been a better chance if he doesn't come out, but now people don't want to face the brunt of what he did and be asked, well, is that why you didn't vote for him? I mean, Tom Brady has a claim to it as well. I mean, but I think that guy probably solidified it for Rodgers would be my guess.
Rodgers has just been so damn good the last 5 weeks. Like, I don't know how you can.
And he's great too. So
yeah, and he's
I saw on Twitter that Aaron Rodgers he's not that good because he gets #carried by his running backs, and he has the best wide receiver in the league. And I just put my head and I want to bash my head into the table. Like, seriously, people have the worst fucking takes on Twitter. It is awful to be on sometimes. The app is just terrible. When I see people telling me that Aaron Rodgers is carried by his offensive weapons. Aaron Rodgers made his offensive weapons. He is literally that good. People do not understand how good Aaron Rodgers is. And
who doesn't think Rodgers is good? Who are you talking
I literally
to right
saw
some
on
fucking
Twitter.
troll with
No, there
55
was
I want to know who you're talking about.
No. There was someone. I'm not calling him out.
No, we want you to call him out.
No,
Yeah, call him out.
I'm not doing that. But there was someone who literally tweeted out saying that Aaron Rodgers gets carried by his hashtag carried by his running backs, his two stud running backs, and the best wide receiver in the NFL, saying he's got all these weapons. And that's why he's so good. And it's like, no, he makes all of his weapons that good. Like people, you guys are giving this is back to ODB's point. We give people too much credit and think they should know this shit. And it should be obvious. And it's not. I'm telling you right now, people think that.
Well,
just saying.
They're stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this, stats wise, I'd argue Brady has better numbers, and I'd argue Burrow's numbers are close enough to Rodgers that, you know, and the fact that the Bengals haven't been good in like 2 decades.
Burrow's been amazing.
That like Burrow should be in the conversation and he's not. But I mean, realistically though, they're likely going to give it to Rodgers. You know, whatever your opinion, he's likely going to be the winner.
Burrow should be the dark horse though. I'll give. I know Tony's like Burrow for.
I mean, I don't think he's the MVP though, because I mean, if you put Rodgers on that team, Rodgers would look pretty good on the Bengals too.
Yeah,
they got a lot of weapons.
I mean, you have this is one of the last chances that you're going to have to give it to Rodgers or Brady. Yeah. Burrow's got 15 more chances. They're not giving it to Burrow yet.
Man,
he
but
came on late too. Like
Whew.
he wasn't like this good all season. He's been great the last like 5-6 weeks.
I'll tell you though, I think we found something with Burrow with the matchups, Tony. I think we found something with the matchups for him where we can exploit it because he carves up those blitz heavy teams. He has done it 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know how long teams are going to keep blitzing and playing Jamar Chase one-on-one because it's not working. You might not want to do that anymore.
It comes down to philosophies and those defensive coaches just being like, no, we can't do this. But you saw in those games, they refused to not do it. It was documented before.
Literally,
those
it just
games
popped up on my Twitter feed as we're talking about it. But Burrow has 15 touchdowns of 30 or more yards. 15 of them. That is Big Ben hasn't even thrown 15 passes above 30 yards.
That was incredible Monday night.
50 passing attempts and how many
and
yards?
Then, how about Snoop just railing on him too on Monday? It was so good.
That was so good. 2 and out break.
If
you don't watch the Manning cast, by the way, and you watch like the regular Monday Night Football show, I mean, you are just doing it so wrong. Like I pray you just didn't know the Manning cast was a thing because when they're on, they're just so much better to watch than the normal Monday Night Football. I don't know if you guys watch the Manning. I'm assuming you guys watch the Manning cast, but they're just so much better. Like I can't stand the normal. You didn't watch it?
I watched it this week. This is the first time I've watched it. It seems Sunday I watch all the games at the house, and usually Monday I play cards and just watch it in the poker room. But this Monday I didn't have a game, so I just.
Did you enjoy the Manning cast more, or?
It was okay. I mean, Roger Goodell and Bill Cowher were both kind of lame. Snoop and Rodgers were a little better. But it was good. Depends on the guest.
You usually bring on decent guests as well, which makes it better too. But I remember surprisingly, I actually enjoyed when they brought Joe Buck on. I'm not a Joe Buck guy, but like he showed up like shit-faced from Cabo. And he was just like, he was cursing and shit. Which I thought was fun. But it does look like they bring on good guests every week. I personally haven't watched a lot of it. I've only seen a few weeks, but I've enjoyed it.
I personally was a fan of the Marshawn Lynch week. I don't know if you remember that one, but that was my favorite one. I love Marshawn Lynch. I mean, that guy. Ooh, I love me some Skittles and some Marshawn Lynch. Give me both. I'll take them both. But all right, we got to get into this football slate because we could sit here and just talk about football and other things not related to the slate for probably another hour, or at least I could, and you guys would just listen and nod your heads as I talk. But let's talk about this slate here. We'll quickly, because the boss told me I have to, we'll quickly go over the Saturday games to get these guys' opinions. But me and Tony will be doing a show either tomorrow night or Saturday for the football slate, for just the Saturday slate. So stay tuned for that. If you're DFS people and you want the DFS stuff for Saturday, stay tuned for that. We'll be with you tomorrow or Saturday. But let's get these guys quick betting takes here. We got KC Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Minus 10.5. Chiefs are favored. In Denver, this game is 45 is the total here. Dunkel, I'll just come to you real quick. What do you think of this spot?
Yeah, so it bumped to 11.5, and I know 11's not a super critical number. I mean, sure, field goal versus 2 touchdowns, but I like Denver in this spot. I know Kansas City wins and they get the 1 seed. You see these every year where these lines get padded. The look ahead line was 3. Yeah, I get it. Nobody likes Drew Lock, and I get it that he's not very good and he takes too many chances. But I just, on a shorter week, this Denver team's not a bad team. I haven't bet them a lot this year to begin with, but this is just an inflated number and just a number spot for me. 11.5 FanDuel. That was available even as of 15 minutes ago. So, yeah, I like the spot for Denver. I just think the number's too big. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
ODB, you got to take on this game?
Not a strong one, but I would lean Denver as well. I mean, this is a division opponent with a good defense, so it's not like they haven't seen this Kansas City weapons. I mean, Kansas City's going to try, but I mean, at some point they may just shut it down. I mean, whether they're ahead and they just let Denver back in because they shut it down, or, you know, if it's close, I don't think they. I don't know. I don't think KC is worthy of giving 11 on the road to a formidable opponent. I mean, the Broncos aren't the Jets or the Jags or anything, so I'd probably lean towards Denver. But just a value play, like Dunkel said, I don't really have any strong feelings here.
Tony, with 79,616 passing yards on Saturday, Drew Lock can pass up Tom Brady for the most passing yards in NFL history. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this game, yeah, I agree with these guys. Everyone's going to like the Chiefs in this game. I kind of like the Broncos, but nothing like no crazy take. I mean, if the Chiefs really want to pound them, they'll probably pound them. I kind of think, but I don't remember if it was on the show or before the show where we kind of talked about Chiefs being up 10 or 14 and kind of just sitting on the lead a little bit. Maybe the Broncos backdoor, maybe they don't. That's kind of how I think this game goes. The Chiefs just try to get a win, get out of there, get into the playoffs healthy. And, yeah, give me the Broncos, though, plus 10.5, 11.5, whatever it is.
Fangio's
I'm going to keep it
fighting
short
for a job, too.
Yeah.
Broncos aren't terrible. I agree with Dunkel there. I mean, I don't like them. I don't think they're incredible, but they got decent enough players. They shouldn't be getting this many points at home.
Especially at home. Denver is a tough place to go and play, and we know that. Yeah. And I will say Fangio has played the Chiefs tough, especially the defense. And I could see a scenario where the Chiefs maybe get up just a little, but then they just kind of run it out, and Denver just
knows like all these scenarios. So like what happens? What's the Chiefs actually playing for?
I think they win. They have the 1 seed, I think, right?
No, the Titans have to lose to the Texans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Titans have to lose to the Texans.
Which I will say, the Texans have played better, and the Titans still don't have Derrick Henry. So,
yeah,
I mean, it can happen.
It
can happen.
It ain't happening.
I mean, you're 100% sure. Like, there's zero chance. You would give it a 0 shot.
Yeah,
you wouldn't give it a 0 shot.
I mean, I wouldn't give it a 0 shot, but. I mean, what's the money line? Houston's plus 360. I would definitely book the plus 360 if anyone wants Houston. I don't see Houston. I don't see Houston winning that game. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like Tennessee, I think Tennessee's overrated. But man, it has happened though in the past. The last couple of years, I remember New England had one of these spots where they would have got the 1 seed if they won, and they like lost to Miami or something as a big favorite. Where there's no way they were going to lose, and then Kansas City or someone got the 1 seed because of it. I know stuff's happened, so yeah. I mean, Houston's going to play hard. I wouldn't give it a 0% chance.
Yep, for sure. And I think our boy Javonte, somehow he needs like 140 something rushing yards to get 1,000 yards. I don't know how, because he's been splitting time with Melvin Gordon like all year, but he's still close to 1,000 rushing yards. That's wild to me.
It just shows if you play every game, like it's not that hard to get 1,000 yards in 17 games. I mean, if you play them all, I mean, the numbers are. And
when you break it down, it is kind of right.
But the touches were not always there. ODB, it was the
you don't have to have a lot of touches to get 60 yards a game.
You have to be efficient. You're right, and he is. 60. That is the good point.
And we got an extra game now too, and I don't know. Yeah, 60 yards a game.
Yep. So what is he right now? He's like 850 or 60.
And he had like one or two blowout games too. So I mean, where he really went off when Gordon didn't play. So
yep,
he's going to be good. He's going to be good when Gordon's gone. But I mean, let's just pump the brakes today.
He's going to be good. He is going to be good. I agree.
You're going to waste the end of the first round pick on him, and he's going to get hurt in week 4.
Oh God. Whatever. I mean, I got a love affair with my guy Javonte Williams. I swear I touted him first. No, I don't give a shit.
You got him. You were on him first.
Being there in the chat, he sent the Ben quote where he's like, "Fuck it, Ray's down there somewhere." Big Ben
that
on
one's
the
so good.
3-yard route. I did like that one. Being there, he's in the chat right now. So, what's up, Being there? Ron, it's all in fun, buddy. Ron saying thanks for the Burrow call. Helped him double his bankroll. It's all in fun, man. We bust balls on this show. You can bust my balls anytime. Just expect me to bust them right back. And I appreciate you, though. You don't have to apologize for anything. I'm glad you played Burrow, and I'm glad he crushed, and I'm glad I could help a little bit. So that's all good. I love it, though. AB in the model. AB in the model, man. Whew. That story just gets wilder and wilder. That AB story.
AB. Whew.
So, who's lying here? I think there's lies on both sides, but who's like?
I tend to believe the team side over the psychopath side.
I tend to believe anybody who's not AB in this.
I'm not saying like none of it is true, but I'm going to lean more on the team side than
Tony,
the AB
he said
side.
Coach gave him the Undertaker gift, like you're dead, like you're cut, like that's it. I'm dying. I want video of that. I want to see the video of the coach go. We got to have camera video of that if it happened, right? We got to have some video of like. You cut.
AB's doing $300 cameos. I'm gonna go on the team side on this one.
He's throwing.
Can we get a cameo for Run Pure?
We probably can if we pay $300. We should get on there and get one.
I want another BigT cameo for when you ship. we need a couple of them. We don't have enough. Dunkel, we circulate the same one. ODB, you know this too. And it's like every friggin' week. It's the same video.
That's such a good cameo, though.
Who is that guy?
Great cameo. It's
the
great.
Dude from Silicon Valley. Russ Hanneman.
Who is it? Who?
Russ Hanneman from an HBO show.
Yeah, we need AB in a Jets jersey with pom-poms.
That is a great video, though. I thought that was just some schlub. I had no idea that was like a real dude.
No, yeah, he's a real dude. He's got cars. He's got his cars open like this. ODB, all right. He's a real guy.
I thought he was just some dude from the Discord or something.
It makes it even better when you know who it is and you watch the show. It'll make it even better.
He's a freaking Silicon Valley.
That's like literally his character is the funny part.
Nice. All right, can we get to game 2? We got fucking 15 games.
Yeah, we're only 40 minutes into the show, guys.
Tony's gonna be so fucking sloshed by the end of the show.
I'm already.
I got my 2-game hour quota, and I'm just about in range to hit it right now. All right, because I told Tony I didn't want to go through the Saturday games, and he made me do it anyway, so it's his fault. All right, Cowboys, Eagles. Cowboys -5, 43.5 is the total. I do believe the Cowboys are going to miss a few guys. I think due to COVID, I'm pretty sure Micah Parsons is one of them. I'll look up right now if there's a few other guys that might miss, but I'm pretty sure he should be out for this game, which I think is a huge loss for the defense. But ODB, what do you think of this game here, Cowboys and Eagles?
I have no idea who's playing for these teams. I know the Eagles have a big COVID outbreak. These are two teams that I like just in general. I didn't really like either of them to start the season, but I jumped on the Cowboys pretty early and rode their wave when they were severely undervalued. I'm holding the. How am I supposed to talk when you're making love to your dog right there?
Thank you. I'm on ODB
what do you
side
mean?
again.
He needs attention, ODB. You have your dogs. You put them on your lap.
You're making love to your dog.
You're French kissing your fucking dog in the middle of my
It wasn't a French kiss. Go pull the tape. There wasn't a French kiss.
Oh, I'm dying. That's my favorite moment of this show in history right there. It just happened.
Performing bestiality with his dog. ODB just trying to give random, good NFL.
Listen, all right, we don't have a Reggie cameo yet. We don't have a Reggie spot on this show. Tony won't let him on. He's pretty upset because Tony hates dogs. I mean,
that
really
comment just
right
made
now.
my entire season.
Show your dog and ship him the fuck out. Let's go.
You don't ship him out. You don't realize how big he is. He goes where he wants, man. He's huge.
Oh, we can shut the show down. It's made it. That made my whole night.
Anyway, I like these teams. I'm holding the 9-1 ticket on the Cowboys to win the NFC, so I'm pretty happy with that. Even though it's probably not going to happen, but good value. I got on this Eagles team kind of 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I've been pleasantly rewarded for that. But I don't really know who's playing. I know the Eagles have a lot of COVID. They have absolutely nothing to play for. The Cowboys, I can't imagine them risking Dak in this game. This game means nothing. So I don't know. I'm going to see who's playing. I have a feeling this line's going to really move one way or the other. I think there'll be some news that'll come out, and this game will either go to pick 'em or 8. I mean, so I'm just off it for right now and just going to see what happens.
All right, Dunkel, what you got a take on this game, or is this like a pass game for you?
Yeah, I think it's a nut under at 43.5. I think the players you're going to see get ruled out are going to be primarily on the offensive end. And to ODB's point, I don't think you're going to get a lot of flashiness from either team, no matter who's playing. There's just even if you get a backup quarterback you're likely going to get Gardner Minshew, I guess, for the Eagles, which might not be a bad thing, all things considered. At least he can throw the ball more efficiently than Jalen Hurts can. But on the Cowboys end, I mean, they don't have much reason to start many players. They can't move up too far. They're going to host a playoff game regardless. Yeah, to me at 43.5, it just has the makings of a nut under, especially when you consider the type of players that are going to likely get ruled out. So yeah, normally this game would probably fall under that 45.5, 46 area, but I just think you're just going to get a lot of offensive talent not playing this game. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right, Tony, you got a different take from Dunkel here. Do you like the under, or what do you think?
Yeah, I like the under in Dallas. I mean, I know for sure Philly's not going to play guys because they can't move. They can't move up. I guess they can move up one spot technically if San Fran lost or something, but they're not moving. They're not going to play their dudes. Dallas might not play their dudes either. So maybe you get stuck with a tough line if neither team plays that many guys, but Dallas at least has a chance to play some guys. I kind of like Dallas, but yeah, I mean, this game, whatever. This is a week 18 game that I'm actually glad is on Saturday. I don't know. It depends on who plays. Dallas and under, though, would be my lean.
All right. RM says JSU and puppy OnlyFans account coming soon. Eyeballs. Big T will be my first subscriber to the puppy OnlyFans. But yeah, and guys, I'm watching Fournier just literally nuke this slate right now. I got it on right over here, so I see it. I can't believe the Knicks came back. It's fucking unbelievable. So that's something.
Yeah,
Fournier's
when
got
Evan
41.
Fournier goes for like 70 fantasy points, it's going to be a tough night.
Yep. Yeah, and imagine Rob Williams 7 blocks Why are you going at that guy? He's a fucking beast. Like, stop challenging him at the rim, RJ Barrett. You're not going to win that battle. Literally, he's blocked you 5 times in this game. All right, let's go back to the football here, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. We got more viewers right now, 100 watching right now. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe box, that red box at the bottom right-hand corner. Get you notified for all these free shows we give every single day. Let's go to the main slate here. Let's talk about Tony's Colts. Colts here, minus 10.5 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. 44 is the total. And guys, the Jaguars
Colts
look like
be
shit.
what? It's got to be more than 10.5. What'd you?
Oh, I'm sorry, 15 and a half.
I was gonna unload the friggin' catapult on that game if it was 10.5.
I was looking at the Titans line as I was reading the So my bad, guys. But yeah, so 15.
You got me like very excited there for a second.
Sorry about that.
No way that thing's 10. Whoa.
I'm sorry about that. But so okay. Colts here. They got the players have some milestone stuff, incentive stuff to get to. I know Carson Wentz needs like 4 touchdowns to hit an incentive for touchdowns. I think Jonathan Taylor needs like 260 something yards for 2,000. And we all know that they want Jonathan Taylor to get his. So, I mean, the Colts here are the winner. Like, Jacksonville has been awful. This to me is a game where like, I'm just going to pass from a betting standpoint, but ODB, I'll let you talk about it if you have a take on it.
No, nothing really. I mean, I would, it's Colts or nothing for me, probably Colts. I could see them just naming their score, but there'll be a point where, the game might be 21 or 24 where, with 6 minutes left and they just pull their guys. So, I mean, there's always that chance, but I mean, they could literally be up 38 with a quarter left and it doesn't matter who's in there. So, me, it's Colts or nothing. I mean, they just have such a strong advantage on the lines. And I mean, Jacksonville's been in scrub mode for 10 weeks. I mean, and I think I saw a stat like Trevor Lawrence has thrown like 1 touchdown in like 10 weeks or something like that, something insane. And they're always behind and always against prevent defenses, and he still can't throw a touchdown. So, I mean, the Colts have strong front line, so they're gonna punish them, I'm sure.
See, RJ Barrett just hit a game-winning shot. He was listening to me. He didn't attack the rim. He just went right for that fadeaway shot. See, why would you attack the rim against Bob Williams? Someone must have been listening in his ear. Let him know. But there you go, JSU for you. Dunkel. If the Colts lose to the Jags, the Chargers and Raiders could kneel every play and both get into the playoffs with a tie. A gentleman's agreement, as our guy Beanair says. What are the odds the Colts actually lose this game? Because I think this is a 0 chance odds. I actually think Houston has a way better shot of beating Tennessee than the Jags do of even sniffing close to the Colts. What do you think?
Leave it to week 18 for JSU to drop multiple 0% chance of teams winning. I will say.
No, I said that one team didn't have a 0% chance and one team did. I said one team.
I will say this. I could be wrong, but I believe if the Jags lose, they guarantee themselves the number 1 overall pick. Not that matters from an actual gameplay standpoint, because that's even if you believe in that type of shit. That teams purposely lay down. But yes, if they lose, they will lock up the number 1 overall pick, which to me would solidify a successful season under first-year head coach Urban Meyer, who got canned. You would be able to get yourself and go in a new direction with another number 1 overall pick. So, hopefully better days ahead for the Jaguars, assuming they lose. So I will say this. I won't bet this game, but I 100% put the lost game last week for the Colts on Carson Wentz. I am a Carson Wentz guy. He had an opportunity to solidify the game himself late in the third quarter. I'm not sure if you guys saw the play. T.Y. Hilton is streaking down the field wide open. No one is covering him. And Carson Wentz missed him by like 15 yards. There was no one within 15 yards of T.Y. Hilton. You could see Carson Wentz like shrug to himself, like couldn't believe he missed the throw. That is not a throw good quarterbacks in the NFL miss. And I don't want to say it cost them the game, but they were forced to punt from the end zone because of it. And the Raiders scored a touchdown on that next drive. And then from there, they ended up losing. Needless to say, I think this team is super mercurial. They have extremely high upside. They run the ball really well. They play good defense. Assuming they win here, they will be a quote unquote dangerous team in the playoffs. But man, I need Carson Wentz to sell me a little more. I am a Wentz guy, but we're hoping to see better days from him in the playoffs. This game's not going to matter what we see from him. But yeah, assuming they win, hopefully we get better showing from this offense and Carson Wentz, because be a shame. This team has so much talent for them to be one and done in the playoffs. But we'll see. But no bet for me on this game.
Well, shit, Tony. I think Dunkel was just throwing some shade at you and your boy top 5 Carson Wentz. I mean, I'll let you rebuttal on that very hurtful quick tidbit on Carson there. I'll give you the rebuttal chance. Let him know what's up.
No, I mean, ODB praised me earlier for not being too stubborn, so I can't be stubborn here. It was Wentz's fault last week. I agree with what Dunkel said. He sucked, and he's been good at times. Like the week before, they kind of won because of him. He had a big game. They were stuffing Taylor all game. He had a good game, but he's had bad games too. He definitely cost them one of those Tennessee games too, where he made a couple just god-awful plays at the end of the game. So
for 6, either whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean, horrendous plays. So he's cost them a few. We'll see what he's made of come the playoffs. They're not going to need him this week. I mean, we get the perfect storm in this game. That was one of the wins last week that I know a lot of people were scared to lay those points with New England. I said they'll win 40-3. They won even more than that. And this is going to be the same thing this week. Yeah, I don't usually like to bet the big spreads, but man, you literally got a team that needs to win to get in the playoffs and a team that needs to lose to get the number 1 pick. You got the perfect storm for a game. I mean, the spread's not high enough. It's, what'd you say, 16.5?
It's 15.5 right now.
15.5. That's not high enough. Like, that is not high enough. And you can even tease it too. I don't tease these often, but while it's 15.5, tease it below the 10. That's a decent little teaser. They're going to pound this team. And Jonathan Taylor is a total lock in fantasy. Total lock. Total lock at 9,300. He's going to get, you said he needs a ton of yards to get it. He probably won't get that. I mean, that's an absurd number he would need. But I do think he gets like $180 and 2 or 3 touchdowns, though. And that's a lot. That's lock city. Huge floor, huge ceiling. They're not going to throw the ball that much because they shouldn't need to. It's going to be all JT here. He's going to crush. So give me the Colts and give me JT. Easy plays too. Don't overthink it.
What is a better chance of happening? The Jags winning this game, or everybody on the panel knowing what mercurial means?
Yeah, I have no idea what that word meant. I was actually going to bring that
Jags
up.
Jags winning the game, because I don't know what that word means either.
Even one of us know what that means. Dunkel probably doesn't even know what it means.
Dunkel would be the only one I would put.
He might not even know what it means either, though.
My read was so dead on that. I almost just said that Big T knows what mercurial means,
Yeah,
but I didn't want to just flat out call him out.
Even our producer Simon has no idea what it means.
How about Dunkel working it into the sentence though, like a champion?
Well, I did use the word, so I do know what it means.
1 for 4 is not bad.
I mean, Dunkel, don't leave us hanging here. I mean, geez, let us in on the secret.
He's currently typing it into Google to see what it means.
So mercurial, I'm sure I'm not going to give you the textbook definition of it, but it means an individual that shows flashes of brilliance and flashes of the exact opposite of brilliance, where they're difficult to predict. They're mercurial.
Oh, okay.
Big T is mercurial.
Sure.
Big T.
Yeah.
Big T, you're mercurial.
I love it. I love that word.
There you go.
That, actually.
Should use it in your next cameo. Let AB know your next cameo. Mercurial is in the cameo. Has to be. Write it up.
It would be fun to get AB to do that for $300.
Oh yeah, it would be.
I should try to get him. I might try to get him to do one for us for the Print Factory, just for our show.
I like it. So I agree with Tony on this game. Just to keep it real quick, I don't see how the Colts don't just pound this fucking team, just absolutely demolish them. And I agree. Like, if you can tease it down under that 10 or right around there, I like doing that. I think that's a good call by Tony, because I definitely think they win by double digits. So, yeah, I love the Colts here. And I agree, Jonathan Taylor is a really good he's probably the best spend up on the slate. We'll get to the other spend up, Cooper Kupp, who he's got a bunch of shit that he's going for. And I bet you McVay and all of them want him to get it, some milestones. So we'll get there in a little bit, but let's move on. We got to talk our guy, ODB's team, the Tennessee Titans here versus the Houston Texans. Titans -10, 42.5 is the total here. This game is in Houston. I would say Houston's played a little better recently. But ODB, I'm coming to you first. What do you think of your Titans in this spot?
They don't have to be my team anymore because I only bet them to win the South, and they did, and cashed all those tickets. So now they're just the Tennessee Titans. But I have had kind of fun defending them all year because basically everybody who thinks they know football hated on this fucking team. Like literally every show I went on, every tweet, every show that I listened to hates on the Titans. So I was glad to be right on
start naming the shows, ODB. Come on. Tell me, which people are they?
All I talk about is BigT, who hate on the I'm not
I still hate on him for the record.
But
I just wanted to hear you say Big T's name. I know it's the only thing you guys are against on. So
we argue on way more than Tennessee for the record.
For sure. I will say that I think the fact that the Titans lost to the Texans a few weeks ago at home probably gets their attention a little more than maybe if they just steamrolled them. So I think that might keep them in check. I mean, I do think that Vrabel has been coach of the year. And I think he's going to have his team ready to go. I mean, it would be a real shame for them not to get the number one seed after beating the Chiefs, beating the Bills, beating the Colts twice, beating the Niners. I mean, all these teams that they beat that are so good. And the only reason they don't is because they can't beat David Culley, Davis Mills, and Rex Burkhead. I mean, it really would be a shame. So I'm just going to trust the organization and the team to go out and do the job they're supposed to. It's a little scary because the Texans, of all the bad teams, like the Texans have really put up a lot of fight and have really improved as the year's gone on. I mean, them and the Lions, I think, like when you look at the bottom 6, 7, 8 teams that we all think are just complete trash, they seem to try every week. So it is a little scary laying that many points, but I'm just going to trust the system that Vrabel has installed there to get the job done. And so I'll probably be willing to lay the number, but I mean, I'm not jumping through hoops, excited to get to the window for this one.
All right. No ODB jumping through hoops. God, I'd love to see ODB jump through some hoops. Dunkel, what do we got here? Any Texans love for Dunkel?
Yes, I'll say this. I haven't really bet much of the Titans this year. But man, this feels like such a smash spot. Like the Colts you're laying 16 with the Colts, not you guys. I'm just saying what the lines are against a bad team, and the Titans, who have the potential to have the number one seed with every injury they've had, and maybe even the extra week would be helpful for them because maybe they'll even get Henry back afterwards. Who wants this win more than the Titans against a shit team? So I just feel like if you're going to lay 15 with the Colts, why is this not 14.5 or 15? I know the Titans haven't really slammed on teams this year, especially without Henry, but this just doesn't make much sense. So yeah, I mean, I really like the Titans in this spot. This is just such a spot I never lay points in. This number just feels like it should be past 14. So I'll think about it as I get closer to game day, but this might be one of the rare scenarios where I do lay double digits on the road on a week 18 game. I don't think this line's inflated at all, by the way. I think if anything,
do you think it can
if you
go
want it,
higher?
you should probably do it now. Yeah, I would say do it now. I mean, this is one that could creep up to 12, 12 and a half, 13, as you say, as the momentum gets up. It's not going below 10. I mean, there's not going to be an influx of Texans money. So, I mean, if you like, and it does make a lot of sense. I mean, let's just think neutral field, Titans versus Colts. That game's got to be close to a pick. And you look at the Texans Jags. I mean, they just played a couple weeks ago and the Jags were favored. I mean, I think that the Texans are a little better than the Jags, but what are we looking at? Less than a field goal. And we're looking at the Titans versus Colts. You bring up a very good point that if you just compare the spots, that it's not a 5.5 point difference.
Yeah, this will be what I find. You do mention a good spot to that hitting this earlier, sooner rather than later does make sense. So yeah, I might make this bet tonight.
All right, Tony, we got 2 for 2 on the Titans. Are you going to make it 3 for 3 here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Titans fan for sure, but yeah, you guys bring up good points. They need the 1 seed. They do not want to beat all those good teams and somehow lose the 1. And it's a massive difference. Make no mistake about it. Getting that 1 seed, getting that bye for Henry, like you guys talked about. Just the rest of the AFC is tough. I mean, KC, Cincy, Buffalo, New England, and then the Colts, even behind them, the Chargers, if they get in. That bye is big, especially for Henry. Obviously, I mean, I'm not like breaking ground telling everyone that the bye is big, but it's even more important for Tennessee because honestly, I don't consider them better than maybe any of those teams. So to get the bye and get Henry better or healthier, like that's just huge. They can't lose to Houston. I like it. Deontay Foreman too. I just sold on Jonathan Taylor. I mean, Foreman got 26 carries last week. 22 carries 3 weeks ago. I mean, if this dude gets 25 to 30 carries again, which I expect him to, why wouldn't he? He's going to crush too in this spot. So got to like it. I like Tennessee too with you guys. Brandon Cooks is an interesting run back though. He's got a ton of steam the last couple weeks. 10, 11, and 10 targets, 18 plus fantasy points all 3 weeks. And we've talked about it in the past, but Davis Mills looks like a decent quarterback. We didn't think he was early. He looks somewhat decent to me, so I don't hate Cooks in a run back with Foreman here.
The only problem with Cooks, I will say, is that, if you think Tennessee is going to just control the ball with Foreman and, they're probably not going to be able to run off that many plays. I mean, I played Waddle last week, and that was a mistake. I mean, the Dolphins just couldn't generate any offense. They never had the fucking ball. And so, I mean, that would be my concern with paying for a $6,000 receiver that's not going to get the ball.
That's a good point.
I mean,
he's priced higher.
I did it with Waddle, so
yeah,
just
a good
just
point.
a comment on that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so Brandon Cooks, one thing, he needs 13 receptions. This is a big number, but 13 receptions to hit 100, where I think he has an incentive there. A little bonus. So that's just one thing for Brandon Cooks. I am going to go against the panel here. I like the Texans, and I'm going to wait because of the advice that ODB gave, where he thinks that this line can only go up because he's probably right. There's not going to be a ton of Texans money. So maybe I can get 11 or 12 and a half or something like that. I'm going to wait until Sunday, but I'm going to bet the Texans with the points here. I think the Texans at home can hang around in this game. And I don't know if they probably don't win this game, but I think they can hang around and keep it close. They've played well recently. I still don't think people are given credit to how well they've actually played with the roster they have. And I'm going to take it. The Titans without Derrick Henry, I'm not afraid of this offense. AJ Brown's a beast, but outside of that, yeah, Deontay Foreman could have a big game. Whatever, though. Ryan Tannehill, I'll take my shot here. Texans plus the number. I'll be against the grain here. Mercurial JSU coming at you right there. So
there you go.
Check that out. And so 2 of my favorite DFS plays, though, are actually in this game. I think A.J. Brown and Brandon Cooks are really good DFS plays. I think the game's close. I think A.J. Brown is going to rip apart the Texans, and I think Brandon Cooks could rack up a bunch of receptions on the other side. So I do like both those guys in DFS. and we'll be heavy on him. So, all right.
You just gotta, I mean, ODB brings up great point because AJ Brown last week only gets 5 targets. The game plays super slow. You got to keep Houston in the game for sure, which you think they can. So that's definitely
exactly.
important.
I don't think if you're on the side of Dunkel, ODB, Tony, I wouldn't play anyone from this game outside of Foreman in a defense because you're pretty much saying the game's going to play slow. They're going to hold the lead and just sit on it and kind of run this clock and run it out. And own the Texans here. If you think the way I think the Texans can kind of battle. And if you think the Texans can battle and hang around, that's going to force the Titans to maybe push it a little bit more and be more aggressive. So it's just different ways of thinking depending on what you like in this game. But it is a good point to make up for your DFS lineups. It is definitely how you perceive the game is how you're going to make up some of the calls on some of these guys. But let's move on. We got the Packers and the Detroit Lions here. Packers -3.5 in Detroit. 45 is the total. And I guess the big thing is the Packers. Who's playing? Is Aaron Rodgers going to play? Is Devontae Adams going to play? Devontae needs just like a few catches, a few receiving yards. He'll get some incentive bumps. What do they do here against the Lions in a close spread in Detroit, obviously, though? So, Dunkel, coming back to you here. What do you think about the Green Bay side? What do you think they do?
Super tough game to read. I'm not going to try to make assumptions on who's going to play, who's not going to play. This spread heavily indicates you're not getting a full roster from Green Bay for 4 quarters. But what that exactly means, I guess you'd have to wait closer to game time. I just think you're kind of crazy no matter how you're betting this early anyway. Detroit, if they lose another game and cover, I mean, this has been a pretty epic run for Dan Campbell against the spread, a team that's won, a few games, and they've covered a ton. It's definitely something to look forward to next year if you're a Lions fan. But as it relates to this game, there's so many games on that Sunday in that 1 o'clock slot. I don't know why you'd bet this game early with all these question marks on Green Bay's end, because for all we know, Aaron Rodgers could stick up the middle finger and play the whole game to do his best to lock up the MVP, which would be silly, but it could happen to own the libs, if you will. No, I'll pass on this game.
JJ, I don't think Rodgers is silly. I think he seriously wants to do it. Now, will the coach and the owners and all that stuff, will they hold him back and say, no, that's ridiculous? You probably already have it locked up anyways. Just sit down. Probably, but I'm just saying, I bet you Aaron Rodgers wants to play and stick it right up everyone's ass after him talking that much shit. But okay, Tony, I'll bring you in here.
No, he doesn't.
The only extra thing I would say is that we don't see this too often. But when a team basically can take the last week of the season off and they also will have a first-round bye, man, does it create some continuity issues when they actually do return to play.
Agree.
Considering guys haven't taken a snap for 3 weeks. So I don't mind them playing like the first half and then sitting at least so they get some game time underneath them. But
does game time really matter for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae, guys?
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. You're not talking about Herbert or Burrow or somebody who's been there for a year and a half.
They're the only people in this offense, though.
They're the only people that matters. You got Rodgers and his huge horse cock.
The only example I could think of was, I want to say it was like 10 years ago, was it Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison and all that, maybe longer than that, 15 years ago, Reggie Mann. They did the same thing and they did nothing after 3 weeks of not playing football. They hosted a game.
I mean, for sure, it could happen again, but
the timing was off on everything. Again, you don't see it often where a team truly gets that full bye and then another bye. I mean, ultimately, where they take off and they have the full
I think
bye.
they took off 2 weeks plus the bye too. That team, 2 or 3 weeks. They were like 14 and
all the Peyton teams always took the rest. Literally, he talked about it last week on the Manning cast. They just, if they could rest, they rested, and that's what Green Bay's going to do. I mean, this game is a total lock. I think Detroit is a total lock in this game. Like, I'd bet it now too, because once they announce all these dudes aren't going to play or play very limited, that line's going to move. And Detroit's at home and they've played hard. And Detroit's a lock to me in this game. If I lose, I lose. I'm fine with it. But I see no reason that Green Bay. I think they get Devontae's record. I think they get him 30 yards. They probably play. I think they play a quarter. Maybe they play a quarter or so. But I love Detroit in this game, and I feel very, very strong about. I would be absolutely stunned if Rodgers and Devontae and these guys played into the second half.
Yeah. Okay. ODB, do you have a take on that either way?
I actually do. First off, if you watch the Manning cast, Roger Goodell was on in the second quarter, and he talked about wanting to create these divisional matchups and only having one bye, so teams didn't take their players out, and we got to see the stars and all that bullshit, company line. Aaron Rodgers came right on, and he just debunked it. He's like, yeah, of course Goodell wants us all to go out there, but when we have nothing to play for, we're not going out there. They're not fucking playing. They might, I don't even think they'll play a quarter. I don't even think they'll suit up. Personally, if there's incentive or whatever, but you're really going to risk Devontae Adams getting hurt. Wide receivers get fucking hurt. Like, quarterbacks get hurt. They're not risking that against Detroit. And so now we're looking at Jordan Love and MVS and Lazard and Emmanuel St. Brown. It
might not even be those guys. It might be like Winfrey and those guys. If
they don't suit up, I don't think Lazard suits up.
So why are and then on top of it, you have a young team in Detroit that's been playing for pride for the whole time. They get to Dan Campbell gets to put on his resume, beat Green Bay, beat the team that that the number one seed. Like, he's going out there, he's going to fire his guys up to play the uniform. And, a year from now, 2 years from now, when they put the stats up there, Dan Campbell is 5-5 against the Green Bay Packers, whatever. Like, he wants that win. Like, he's that kind of guy, I think. So, and I don't think the Packers try at all. I think I like Tony. So I agree with Tony. I think Detroit is the play, and I think Detroit wins this game outright. If this line stays this way,
they could end up being favored by like 4 by kickoff. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And this receiver on the fucking Lions, they're peppering the hell out of him.
He's been good. Like, he's crushed.
Yeah.
It's been since that finals week, Tony.
Yeah.
He's just been fucking dominating. Yep. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's in play again.
Actually, I just pulled him up because I was curious. It was 2 weeks before the finals week. He's got 12 targets, 12, 11, 11, 10 the last 5 weeks. Just totally smashed. Now he's going to get Green Bay's backups.
Yep. He's going to smash again. All right. Let's do it then. Detroit. Yeah. If all those guys are out, I agree. Detroit is the play. And like Tony said, if you don't bet it now, you're probably going to lose out once they announce it. That thing's going to completely flip, right? Like, it's going to change right here. Packers
I don't see any way it goes up. There's no way it goes the other way, because they're not going to suddenly say, okay, Green Bay's going to play.
You lose the advantage, right?
Yeah.
You're losing like the ultimate best line you're going to get.
It could stay the same. Like, if they don't announce anything crazy, maybe it goes off similar, but it's not going to go to like 7 or something. So you might as well just bet it.
Yep. All right.
Detroit is going to win, though. Make no mistake about it. Detroit wins this game for sure.
Yeah, Pat Taylor at running back. We'll see if Green Bay actually sits all their guys. Pat Taylor might actually be the starting running back for the Green Bay Packers.
Just in the projections right now, a lot of the projections have him as the running back, like going big thing.
Yep. If it happens the way you guys are saying, then he probably will be. We got Matt Root in chat. Matt, you must be a little behind the show. He says Morris brothers are far from pretend guys. Love it though. I don't know did we say pretend? I really just said they don't want the smoke of the Jokic brothers. That's more what I was getting at. I don't mean that they're pretend. They're still massive dudes. I wouldn't want to pick a fight with them either, but I'm just saying they don't want the 307-pound fat Jokic brothers coming at them. That's all I know. But we appreciate you watching, Matt. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate everyone watching this show. Morris Brothers, Jokic in a steel cage. I'd pay to see that. Put them in a steel cage match. Come on, I'd pay. I'd pay good money to see it. Also, we got our guy Nuggets. He said he'd put $100 to contributing to this AB cameo. So we got members who
AB
will
cameo
help
would be
the AB
good
cameo.
Stuff.
He wants the Print Factory AB cameo. I think it'd be great stuff too. I'm with you.
I'm gonna look.
We're not taking money from the listeners for the cameo. We want the cameo. I'll pay for the fucking cameo.
Yeah,
Tony will pay for the cameo.
I'm gonna look right now.
That's nice.
We should do it.
Let's fucking. We're not. Thank you. Thanks.
I mean,
thanks
how good would
the,
an AB Print Factory cameo be? Like,
it would be so friggin' good.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so good.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
While you're looking it up, I'm gonna move us on here. We got to keep rolling. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens -4 at home against the Steelers. ODB coming at you with this question. I mean, whether Lamar or Huntley is the quarterback for the Ravens here, after what we saw from the Steelers, are you putting money on the Steelers in this spot? Like, what are you doing?
I'm not putting money on the Ravens. I mean, I'm not laying 4 points with the Ravens. I mean, the offense didn't score against the Rams. If it wasn't for the fact that Stafford sucks ass and throws stupid interceptions, the Rams just run all over that team. That game cost me a fortune last week. I mean, the Ravens can't. I mean, their pass defense is terrible. They can't move the ball. They can't score. I mean, this is Big Ben's last football game. I think he comes out motivated. It is kind of concerning that Deontay Johnson has COVID. I would probably love Ray at DFS. I mean, isn't Ray just going to – he already has kind of the Juju role as is, and you're going to give him the Deontay role. I think, people will probably move towards Claypool. But Ray, I mean, that dude gets targets every game. And if he gets the Deontay 14 targets, he's probably like sub 3,500 or something. I would like him against that secondary. We already know that Ben's going to throw the ball 40 times. And so he could get 10 to 15 targets. So I would like Ray, and I would probably lean Steelers if I have to play this game.
All right. Leaning the Steelers. Dunkel, what do you got in this game?
It's tough because I'll be honest, I do like the Ravens side here, primarily because I just don't know how the Steelers are going to score points. So I know that the Ravens have had some issues with their secondary, but they've gotten some guys back healthy. And the reason Pittsburgh had any flavors of success in their last game was because they were able to run the football. You can't run the football against the Ravens. So I mean, is Big Ben potentially without Deontay going to dink and dunk this team for 3 yards up and down the field? Whether it's Hundley or Lamar, at least I'm getting a team that can score. So yeah, I know the number's not ideal, and maybe the best look would be Pittsburgh Steelers under their team total, which I believe is going to be like 19.5-ish, 18.5. Look, Pittsburgh's been like one of the worst first half teams in the NFL. So maybe you just bet them under their first half team total. I mean, the Steelers' production has primarily come when they've been down 2+ touchdown. That's when they score points. That's when they move the ball. I just think what we saw against the Browns, they scored points, but the game was just a complete anomaly. Like, yards per attempt were brutal. It was a brutal offensive game. Again, their success was between the tackles, and you can't run against the Ravens. So I don't know how the Steelers. I mean, I guess they could cover this number, but to think they're going to win this game, I think is lofty. But yeah, I mean, this will likely be a game I bet. I'm trying to figure out the best way to bet it. It'll likely wind up I'll probably just bet the Ravens first half, especially if more Steelers money comes in and I can lay less than a field goal. I will likely bet the Ravens first half.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that Najee's going to go against the Ravens and average 6.7 yards per carry, have 28 attempts, run for almost 200 yards, then you should bet the Steelers here. But that's not going to happen against this Ravens team. That just shows you how bad Cleveland was. And I mean, like, that was awful. I mean, this Steelers run offensive line hasn't done that against any team all year. That was just the worst performance. And they owned the Cleveland defensive line, just absolutely owned them. The worst offensive line, run blocking offensive line in football, and it wasn't even close all year. Najee's been getting hit in the backfield every friggin' game, and then he finally just busts off a big game, and it was just awful to watch from Cleveland. Even then, though, the game was just so weird, and Cleveland still had its shots and just couldn't get it done. And now they lose Deontay Johnson probably for Sunday. We'll see definitively, but I think if he gets popped Thursday and it's the 5-day rule, I think, right? So he should be out for Sunday's game. So now Big Ben's favorite target's gone. I can't bet the Steelers. I gotta go the Ravens here. I think the Ravens, regardless of who's the quarterback for them at home, are going to whoop up on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like the Ravens in this spot. Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is the games to stay away from me. I don't really see much happening. I don't see much points. Sure, I'd be on Baltimore if I had to decide. I definitely can't take Pittsburgh. And Huntley, I think Huntley is way better than Big Ben. I would just take Huntley over Ben and just take my chances, but I'm off this game. I don't like anything about it. Sure, I guess technically both teams are alive still, but when Indy wins, both these teams are out. So I don't.
Well, Pittsburgh's more alive than Baltimore. Baltimore needs like four things to happen. Pittsburgh just needs Indy to lose.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's an easier sell to your players if one thing happens versus four things happening, with one of them being, almost unlikely.
I don't know if the sell matters though. I don't see how Pittsburgh scores. Like I don't see how they score any points. I like the under actually. I know the total's low, but I don't see how there's points in this game. I really don't.
So also one big incentive, I guess, milestone for Mark Andrews. He needs 141 receiving yards for the single season record at tight end. He would be breaking Travis Kelce's record. And so 141 receiving. I mean, the dude's been balling recently. So could he get there?
He could definitely be a good DFS play too, because his price is outrageous. I mean, 7,500 now on DraftKings. That is up there. So he has to be low owned at that price. And I don't know. I mean, I could see it.
And we should get some value, right, Tony, on the slate, you would think. If there's
definitely going to be value. There is 1,000,000% going to be value with guys sitting. Right. So I mean, Andrews could be a sneaky play.
Yeah. I mean, and he's got incentive. I mean, he definitely wants to, he knows that he wants to break Travis Kelce's record. He's going to be on the field.
Both these teams are going to want to win too. Like they want to beat each other.
They hate each other. Freiermuth might not be bad either. He's a lot cheaper. And I mean, if you don't have Deontay, I mean, that's 15 targets that have to go somewhere. And we just said they can't run the ball against Baltimore. They don't have their 15 target Deontay. Claypool doesn't just run underneath enough. James Washington cannot run underneath. I mean, it has to be Freiermuth and Ray. I mean, they're just those 15 targets have to go to those two guys. So
all their price tags are so cheap. Even Claypool, though, at 5,100, is just staring at you. Like
Claypool has to be the worst fit with Big Ben of like any receiver in football. Like he's a deep threat, and Big Ben just cannot throw it deep.
If they get a good quarterback, he could be a nice buy low next year with Claypool, because he's going to be undervalued. But anyway,
AB's cameo, by the way, $600. We can get it for $600.
It's going to be 1,000 another week.
Yeah, we got to get in at the buy low point of 600 here.
Oh God! All right, make sure
it was 300 like 2 days ago. So you're right, the price is going up.
Everyone wants
it. It's on high demand right now. I will say that thing's going to kill. That'll be great.
I'm getting it later tonight. I got to see what I got to do. I've never done one.
All right. Well, you work on that. Let's go to your Bengals here versus the Cleveland Browns. Browns -6 in this spot at home against the Bengals, who will be without Joe Burrow for sure. I probably think most of the studs on offense, like Joe Mixon's out too. I think he's got the illness, so he's definitely out. Probably the other starters like Jamar Chase. I know he's got
The
some
Bengals are going to sit everyone.
stuff.
Just mark
They're
it
all
down.
going to sit.
Yeah.
Even Chase.
There's no way they're going to run Chase out there the only reason I guess they could run Chase out there is to try to solidify his rookie of the year. But I mean, this is a playoff team that has a home game the next week. Like, I don't think you risk that. I mean,
he needs 45 receiving yards for the single season rookie record, which would break Justin Jefferson's record from last year. So that's, I mean, I don't know. Depends on, I guess,
with
what
these
they
teams
want.
with young studs, though, I just can't see him. I mean, it doesn't really change that much, anyways. Even if he plays a little bit and gets a little work,
what's he going to get 50 yards? I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't change anything betting wise or DFS wise if he plays a little or not.
Because you're not playing him at his price when he only needs like 45 yards.
I mean, no matter what, he's not like going to go off and play the whole game. So
not without Joe Burrow anyways. It doesn't matter. I don't care who, Joe Burrow.
Maybe he plays a quarter, tries to get the record. Like, that could happen, but
yeah. All right. So regardless, so we got the backup Bengals, we'll call it backup offense Bengals, and probably a lot of their defensive guys probably sit too. Against the Cleveland Browns team, who Baker's getting surgery, so he's out. Finally, Case Keenum will be the quarterback, which I do think is probably an upgrade to what Baker's been giving us recently. So that's at least a plus for the Browns. But Dunkel, what do we got here? Anything on this Bengals Browns game?
Yeah, another game that's tough because you just don't know who's going to play. I also would be shocked if like Nick Chubb played. I mean, it doesn't make sense to play him. The game's got nothing, means nothing.
He barely played last week, right? Like they kept pulling him out last week.
Well, Dearness Johnson's on the COVID list. So the guy they were using to back him up, he's out, I think, anyways.
So if Nick Chubb sits,
I think Chubb sits. I'm with you. I don't think he plays.
Where is offense at all going to come from in this game?
Why would they play Chubb?
I will say this though, Burrow kind of hobbled off anyway. Like he makes no sense for him to play.
He's already been ruled out, so he's definitely not playing.
Yeah, he's out, Dunkel. He's out.
I mean, the Jamar Chase, sure it's nice, but I mean, if he got some type of record, but doesn't really matter. I mean, I think it's such an ugly game that if you want to bet this game, at least know the players you're going to bet. At least know the players that are officially going to play. And even if players are active, does it even really mean they're going to play? Like, to me, this is either a bet you make live after you're actually seeing people play in the game, or just don't.
The Browns don't want to win either, right? So like, just don't.
You're going to lay 7 points with the Browns, but I do think if you get official word that all these dudes are out for the Bengals, you could probably play them under their team total. Like, I mean, where is their offensive production going to come from? The drop off from, was it Brandon Allen, from Joe Burrow to Brandon Allen is massive. I mean, the dude sucks. So, and who's he going to be throwing to? Their fifth string wide receivers? So yeah, this is just such an ugly game. It's an easy pass for me.
Yeah, I will say Dearness Johnson, it looks like, does have a chance to get off the COVID list in time for Sunday. So I agree. Why would you play Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb? Like, there's no reason to just play those guys in this spot. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. ODB, you got to take on this game, or is this kind of just a pass game?
Yes, I mean, if I'm going to take anything, I'm going to take the points. I mean, you have two teams that don't care, don't want to win, aren't going to try real hard. I would just take points. But I don't really like the game. I mean, if Dearness Johnson plays and Chubb doesn't, I mean, he could be really good. I mean, that guy actually looks good out there on the field. And also, I mean, the Browns just look like they quit on Monday night. So, I mean, if their Browns are just going to quit, like whoever the Bengals roll out their running back, I mean, I don't think they're going to throw the ball a ton. Like, I mean, Najee Harris got, just worked this team. The team just quit. The Browns quit. So I'm not laying a touchdown with a team that's a bunch of fucking quitters. So I would take the points or not play the game. Probably not play it.
Tony?
Yeah, I think that's the best point. Like, why are they favored by 6? They have no more motivation. It's just going to be scrubs on scrubs, so like a true coin flip. So, yeah, take the Bengals on the money line, take the points. Yeah, they're going to play their scrubs, but the Browns are going to play their scrubs too. So why are the Browns favored by 6? They're still banking on some of these guys playing, and I just don't think it happens. I mean, why would they play Chubb and even guys like Landry and Hunt? And I just don't see why they play. I don't. I'd play the Bengals or nothing.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you guys, but I'm going to definitely stay away from this game. I want nothing to do with this game.
I would say based on the line movement, which a lot of it happened yesterday, it almost seems like somebody knows that Cleveland's likely to play some starters.
Well, I think
you don't just think it's because they ruled Burrow out.
It's they ruled Burrow and Mixon out. That's why it moved.
You think it's all that though? Like nothing like because think about it. I mean, in reality, if the Browns also sit guys, I mean,
I think it'll move back down, and once they rule those guys out, I don't know.
That could be the case.
They probably don't rule out Chubb. He runs the ball like 8 times or something. I mean, they didn't even run versus Pittsburgh. I mean, when
they were embarrassing versus Pittsburgh, they were so terrible in that game.
He rips off like a 32-yard run, like right off the bat, and then it was just like nothing. Like he
didn't even play. So I mean, even if he's not ruled out, he's not going to be. If you can find a prop for under Chubb carries, whatever they fucking posted at, just that he's probably going to be posted at like 12 or 15. The guy's not going to touch the ball more than 8 times if he plays.
The worst thing Cleveland does is take him out on third downs every single drive and just on obvious passing downs. And when he's in the game on first down, get in shotgun and split him out all the way wide. Because now the threat of Nick Chubb running is gone. Like, it's not even a thought. They can just friggin' rush the passer. You idiots. If you have Nick Chubb on the field, at least threaten that you're going to run the fucking ball with them. Don't send him out to the fucking outside receiver position when he's on the field. And the Cleveland Browns.
And I don't care. I know Baker's the quote-unquote tough, or he's quote-unquote gritty. But the dude needs a first class trip to the glue factory. He's absolutely awful.
Yeah. I can't wait to bet against. I cannot wait to bet against Cleveland this year in the playoffs.
All right, come on, everyone, take their licks.
I can't wait.
Everyone,
I can't wait till JSU does a complete format in week 1 next year. He's talking about Browns' aspirational Super Bowl. Super Bowl trip.
Can we get a goddamn quarterback? Somebody please come to Cleveland. God, we can't do Baker Mayfield again. Please. Aaron Rodgers, if you're listening, please.
Aaron Rodgers in Cleveland.
Insane.
I mean, I tried, guys. I don't think he listens to this podcast, though, so we're fucked. Sorry, Cleveland fans. I tried my best. I'm gonna change. Once Javonte is the main backfield owner of the Denver Broncos, I will then be a Denver Broncos lifer fan until Javonte retires,
Baker may be quarterback.
God, if Baker went to Denver and then Melvin Gordon left, it would be the best thing ever.
Oh God, I would hate life if that happened.
Oh.
Don't ruin Javonte for me, please, Baker. Stay away. Don't go to Denver. Seriously, though, Denver, go get Aaron Rodgers. Like, I think that is very possible.
They had their damn chance to get Rodgers. They squandered it.
Rodgers isn't going anywhere.
I'm worried Rodgers doesn't leave now.
He's not.
I'm worried. Yeah.
No shot he leaves.
Yeah. I'm worried he's going to stay too. All right, let's go to the Washington football team against the inept New York Giants here. Football team is favored by 7. 37.5 is the total here. I mean, when you talk about dusty in games, I think we have to put this game in that category. And I don't know how you put any money on the Giants. Like, I just don't think I could physically hit that button, guys. ODB, I'm going to come to you here on this, but there's no way we can put money on the Giants, right?
No, I mean, I picked them last week. I was like, 2 shitty teams, one getting a touchdown, one not. That was stupid. I pass. I want no part of this game. I have 5 televisions, and I will not be turning this game on. I will not have any DFS players. I will not be playing this game at all. I want nothing to do with it. Pass. Let's save time on this fucking game.
Save time. I like it. Tony,
unless Dunkel's got a big take on a bet.
All right. Well, Tony, ODB doesn't give a fuck about your take, so I'll go to Dunkel and skip over you, Dunkel.
I got nothing crazy on this game anyways. I mean, the Giants I said this last week, but the Giants haven't scored more than 21 since week 2. That's impressive in the modern NFL where it's pretty easy to score points. They have not scored more than 21 points since week freaking 2, ironically, versus this Washington team. But this game's awful. No reason to play this game. Just forget it exists.
Richie, I was going to give a similar take, but I'll let Richie take it here. He says defense playing the Giants are scoring like RB1s.
Yeah,
it's true. It's very true.
Game,
Washington's
defense isn't going to be an RB1 for the record.
I'll tell you right now, Washington's defense has been awful, but this is a get right spot if I ever see one in my life.
Try, though. Like
I'll tell you right now, losing the way they've lost and getting their asses kicked that is when you're on the receiving end of a few of those and you can finally get a real inferior team to you who have been inferior, you want to pound on those teams. I'm just going to say it right now. I think the Redskins pound on this team. But Dunkel, what do you think of this game? Can we make it quick or you got a hot take?
So I just want to say that it does look like Jake Fromm starting this week. And Mike Lennon has a QBR of less than 12. And Jake Fromm was so bad that he got benched in the first half in his lone start this year for Mike Lennon, Mr. QBR of less than 12. I have bet the Giants a bit more than I'm comfortable saying this year, and I definitely will not bet them here. But I've also made the case that I will not bet a Jake Fromm start. I think the Washington defense is in a complete smash spot. I don't know what the turnover or derivative props will be in this one, but yeah, this is likely to be an ugly game. The total's super low, but I'd argue it's well-deserved. The Giants are going to cover one of these games. I mean, they actually started the year covering a decent amount. I don't think they've covered a game in like a month and a half. Easy stay away spot for me. Just an ugly game all around. I will definitely be overweight on Washington's defense and DFS this week.
Yeah, Dunkel, that's right. We're going to get in there and we're going to own these two with the Washington football defense. We're going to play that RB1 right in Tony's face. Just own his ass.
No chance.
All right. No chance. Big T says no chance. I'm shaking right now. All right. Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings, 5.5-point favorites here. 44 is the total in this game. Dunkel, I'm just going to come right back to you. What are these teams playing for? Is it just like divisional rival here? What are we doing with this game?
So I'll tell you this. Early in the week, I didn't understand this line. It was 2.5. It made me think that Kirk Cousins wasn't going to play, which was not much there. And now he's confirmed he's going to play. So, of course, the line moved. I'll be honest. So Justin Fields is COVID and he's going to be out. It's likely an upgrade for this Bears offense. And I'm a Fields guy to a certain extent. I feel like down the stretch, he's had their offense looking better. But the reality is what it is. Justin Fields is 2-8 as a starter, and everybody else is like 6-2 or something like that for the Bears, or 5-2, something like that. So Dalton's likely an upgrade. But I don't know. Zimmer's gone, right? I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. They could beat this team by 50. It's not going to matter. Zimmer's gone. And I don't know. Is Minnesota really looking to put on a show here after their season, which was a huge letdown, all things considered? They have led way too many games by way too many points to end the season with this record. So I don't even know the status of that locker room. I hate betting on teams where I can't even figure out where their pulse is as a team. I don't know where this team's head's at. I'm sure Kirk wants to play to end the season on a high note. And Dalvin Cook made the comment, that he plays for his father, and no doubt he's playing hard the last week, and they're going to go out for Zimmer and play hard for him. But I don't care. That team has to be a locker room mess. And yeah, maybe there's some value on Minnesota, even at this small number, because all things considered, Minnesota should be more than 7 here if this game means something to Minnesota. But no, I'm not going to play it. Look, you're getting Kirk in this sneaky time slot again against an average to below average defense. But yeah, there's too many arrows going in many different directions here. This will definitely not be a game, I bet. I will say this, though. Fields was playing, which I don't think he can with the COVID rules and when he got positive. If he was playing, though, 100% I'd bet the Bears over their team total. He has been a team total over machine as their quarterback, especially the last few weeks that he played. But he's not playing, so yeah, no bet for me.
Yeah, I don't think Fields is going to be back in time for that. So no Fields this week. ODB, what about you?
I actually like this game. I have a lot of opinions on this game. So one of the things I really like is when a team has been fighting hard, they've been trying all year, they had playoff aspirations going into the year, and they get eliminated the week before, and now the next week they're cleaning out the lot. It's hard for them to get up after fighting all year with the playoffs on the line. The Vikings have been in every single game, so they haven't even had quarters off, really. Meanwhile, the Bears have been eliminated for a while. They've been playing for pride. They know how to play out the string. They've been playing really pretty good football the last several weeks. A few weeks ago, I was super heavy on the Vikings versus the Bears, and the Bears played them really, really tough. They got to Cousins a lot. They sacked him. They applied pressure to him. Montgomery's playing well. I don't think the quarterback matters whatsoever. I think Dalton, Foles, Fields, they're all just fine. Like none of them are difference makers, but none of them are scrubs. So I don't really care who quarterbacks. I think this is just a mail-it-in game for the Vikings, and I think the Bears just finish on a positive note. Nagy's like, there's even rumblings that Nagy could keep his job still. Like,
so insane. No, I mean, I believe it. It's just so insane.
I mean, yeah, but I just really like when teams can finally relax and not have the pressure of a game, just mailing it in. And I think the Vikings just mail it in here. And so I like the Bears a lot. I think I would like the Bears money line. I like the Bears on the spread. I kind of like Montgomery again. Yeah, that's kind of my takes on the game.
All right, Tony, what do you got here?
I like ODB's take about the actual game with the Bears, but man, I pulled Montgomery up while you guys were talking about it. It's almost pathetic how bad he's been, and you won't know it by looking at his fantasy points, but he averaged 2.9, 2.14, 3.3 yards versus bad defenses like the Giants and Seattle, Minnesota the last time. It's actually impressive how bad he's been, because I thought I was surprised what I saw. I thought it was going to look better because I know his fantasy points have been good. It's just because he scores touchdowns, though. It's 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, a bunch of these higher scoring games. But I like ODB's points. I mean, I think Minnesota's going to shut it down. They've been in a lot of close games. The Bears have actually looked good the last couple of weeks. I mean, what they beat Seattle in a pretty close game on the road, though. That was a good win. And they just pounded the Giants last week. So I like those points a lot. And the spread is just wrong to me in this spot. Minnesota should not be -6 or whatever it is, whatever the current number is. So I'm on the Bears. I don't know how much Montgomery, just because I'd rather play some of those other guys we talked about, mainly Foreman, JT. Some other cheap guys are going to open up by Sunday, I'm sure, when we get some guys rolled out. So I don't know how much Montgomery I'll have, but I will bet the Bears because that made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Bears is the play here. I agree with both you guys. And from a DFS side, I don't know if I'm going to have much from this side either. Probably just stay away from this game on DFS, but we'll see. By the time Sunday comes, you never know.
I do like these projections because I hope people play Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. Right now, they're projected to get like 20% ownership or something. I hope people play those two because I don't see that at all. I just don't see it at these price points. I'd much rather play other guys. So hopefully people play these guys because I know I'm not going to.
I agree. I agree. And I like you, I know I'm not playing them either. So it's like, hopefully they get the ownership and they underperform like we think, but we'll see. You guys don't forget to hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, that red box at the bottom right-hand corner. Also, we got a little promo going with Underdog. If you sign up now, you'll get $100 matched if you're a first depositor to Underdog. Use the code RUNPURE, $100 they'll match up to for a bonus if you're someone who is a first deposit person on Underdog. They got some good best ball content and contests for their playoffs in the NFL. Playoff NFL best ball contest still there. They got a nice $25, I think 1 million prize pool contest. So check that out on Underdog. Use the code RUNPURE, get you $100 match on your first deposit. Let's go to the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Patriots, 6-point favorites here in Miami. 39.5 points is the total here, guys. And I will say, Patriots in Miami, this has not been a friendly spot to the Patriots. And also, Brian Flores has played the Patriots very well. And maybe it's just he's familiar with the Patriots coming from there. He kind of knows them a little bit better. Former Patriot coaches have given the Patriots some fits at times recently. And I'm just going to say it right now. I think the Patriots are the better team, but I think in this spot, given me 6 points, I have to lean the Dolphins in this spot. And I hate fucking Tua. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think Flores is a solid coach. And I think he puts the defense in the right spots and they can at least keep this game within reach and have a shot. So that's my take on this game. Jalen Waddle, I guess, would be the only guy from a fantasy side I would look at for Miami.
Absolutely sucks. I don't care what anyone says. He is absolutely horrendous.
I agree. He's terrible. Me and you have been on the same page on this. Literally,
this isn't even like debatable either. Like, I want to know who, like, someone that thinks Tua is good. I want to know why they think he's good.
I would like to hear a reason or two. Give me
Does
like
Dunkel
one.
or ODB think he's good or remotely good?
I think he's fine. I think he's fine.
Yeah, as you guys know, I was a big Tua guy out of college. I felt like he was a different type of lefty, but he clearly lacks arm strength. He definitely can't go like sideline to sideline with darts.
No,
he can't throw that like 35-yard post on a line. There's just throws it just seems like he can't make at game speed. But to ODB's point, he's okay. I mean, he's a good enough to be a starter. And let's be honest, in the NFL these days, especially with how bad backups have all of a sudden become, where like every backup in the NFL is god awful now. He's okay, but yeah,
I disagree. You're literally telling us that he's good enough to be a starter, but he can't make throws that every starter should be able to make. Like, he can't throw to the outside. He literally can't do it. He cannot throw past 25 yards on the sideline. He literally lofts the ball up in the air and has zero arm strength. And
Big
you're telling
Ben has
me
more
that,
arm strength than
way more arm strength than Tua.
Well, maybe they need to design an offense that's better for him. They have an awful offense. They have one of the worst offensive lines in football. They have shitty ass running backs.
I love the Tua defense. I've been waiting to get up at ODB about something. Come to his defense, ODB.
I don't love Tua, but the fact of the matter is, there's only 15 good quarterbacks in the NFL anyway. I mean, like, we had Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Darnold and
those guys are way better
Mayfield
than
and Andy Dalton, and yeah, because they've been around for a while.
I compare him to Baker. I think they're similar to Baker.
I don't think Tua is good. I'm not going to defend Tua, but I mean,
sounds like you're defending him a little bit.
Whatever. I mean, he's probably the 18th best quarterback in the world.
I think he's like
right
the
now.
37th best.
I think he's literally, there's some backups better than Tua. I
would take Davis Mills and play with Jalen Waddle
Mills
and Devontae and these guys.
Take Davis
Judy.
Mills over Tua. I would take Davis Mills over Tua the way he's playing.
You're just on crack. I mean, there's
No,
come on.
I'm not. I'm
not.
watching
Tua is
football.
so bad.
I'm literally watching football, and Davis Mills has just as much talent on his team that Tua does. So you can't say, oh, well,
God,
the
Tua's
talent.
bad.
Davis Mills
Look
can
at his
make better
numbers.
throws than
He's
Tua
so
on the
bad.
outside. Way better.
Well, regardless, I mean, has he even played 20 football games yet? I don't think he's. I don't think Tua is going to be anything special. He's going to be a Teddy Bridgewater. He's going to move around from
That's
place to place.
insulting to
being
Teddy
serviceable.
Bridgewater.
Come on, Teddy Bridgewater sucks.
Teddy
I think
Bridgewater
Teddy's
so
way
bad.
better than Tua, though. I think
Well,
Tua.
Teddy Bridgewater's been in the NFL for 7 years. Like, I mean, when Tua's been
Tua's
in the NFL
not going to be
7
in the
years,
league for 7 years. That's my point. Tua's going to
Holding
be
a
on
clipboard,
Fox
maybe.
doing pregame shows in like 4 years.
He'll be holding a clipboard maybe 7 years
No,
in.
he's not even going to be a backup. He's going to be out of football like Tim Tebow. He is that bad.
did you see
Actually-
Sean Mannion is the fucking backup in the NFL?
Sean Mannion
Yeah.
is better than Tua.
No, he's not. Stop. Now
I
you're
want to go
just-
on a
now-
strong record of
now
Tua
you're
will be
just
out of football.
ridiculous.
All right. When Sean Mannion gets compared to being better than Tua, that's where I'm going to even draw the
How
line. 'cause
incredible
he
is
was
that, by the
awful.
way? Not to totally flip it, but my man, the coach from what's Minnesota's coach?
Zimmer.
Oh,
They're like,
Zimmer.
do you want to see Mund? And he said, absolutely not, I don't.
He's like, why not? I've seen him in practice.
That was
There
so
was a-
good. You never see
there
a
was-
coach flame his players like that.
There was a
He's
reason
a guy
why
who
Mon
knows
didn't
he's gone.
start. Remember, Tony, we were talking about on the Showdown show. There was a reason why Mon didn't get to start over Mannion. Oh, boy.
I loved it.
He played one series and, he's like,
And he went
"Get
right
this
back
fucking
out."
guy out of here." He's like, out, done.
How does he go in and then come back out? He made the worst throw ever, too, when he was in. It was a dead pick
So
six.
bad.
I just I think the comments from Zimmer are funny, but like literally, you're choosing to keep the dude on the roster. So if he's bad, it's also on you, pal. Like
Yeah.
you want to
He
keep
won't be on the. Well, I can guarantee you that both of those people will not be wearing Minnesota Vikings hats on game one next year. One of those two will
Yeah.
be on for sure. Probably.
Yeah.
That
both.
is just hilarious that he flamed him, though. That was awesome. I like when coaches are honest like that, even though it's technically not right.
He's got nothing to
No.
lose. I'm hoping in his final post game conference that he just really lets loose. He's got nothing to lose.
Oh,
Oh, I
Anyway,
love it.
on this football game, I mean, everybody is so anti-Dolphins. I was so anti-Dolphins for the first half of the year, but I know they played shitty teams, but I don't know. This defense looked a lot better to me. I was really surprised they laid an egg against Tennessee. I thought this team had made a little comeback, but that kind of just tells me a little bit more about Tennessee, that Tennessee really does have, guys who are just all over the field, because Miami had looked a lot better for the last 6-7 weeks. I'm not really sure what the Patriots have to play for, but Belichick does tend to play his guys, and he does have a rookie quarterback, so I guess he's going to go out there and play hard. But the Dolphins always play the Patriots tough. If I have to play a side on this, I kind of like the Dolphins getting a touchdown. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I think getting a full score here is kind of nice.
Yeah, all right. We got another Dolphins pick. I'm with you, ODB. As much as I swallow my pride, just like you said at the beginning, I'm not a Tua fan, and I still think the Dolphins cover here, so I'm with you. Tony?
Well, I mean,
I
bad
think you
quarterbacks
gave
win
most of your
sometimes.
picks, but, do you want to add to the Miami take here? What do
I
you
definitely like Miami here with you guys. This week, I'm just going to make judgments on each game, and I think there's edge DFS-wise and betting-wise. Even though I don't love Week 18, it's not as fun for me. I like the playoffs when everything matters. There is edge, though, if you can make guesses on who you think plays hard, who doesn't, who plays half the game, who doesn't play. Like ODB said about Chubb, maybe he plays 8 snaps, comes out. Stuff like that is where we make money Week 18. And I don't see motivation. I know New England plays their guys. I just don't see the motivation there. They're in their spot. I don't really see much reason to sell out. And I think Miami plays hard. They're 8-8. They want to finish 9-8. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Miami wins this game. So I'm with you guys. DFS, though, very easy fade. I mean, just no reason to play
DFS.
anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's some Duke Johnson love in the chat right now.
definitely
I can't play
not
Duke
Duke
Johnson.
No, absolutely not.
Definitely not.
No. I'm just telling
Absolutely
you,
not.
Duke Johnson, GP. I'm seeing it. Some
I still have
questions.
nightmares from that live final when Duke Johnson just shoved it up my ass.
Why would you play a running back on a 3 running back team versus a team with a good run defense that's not going to score that's not going to score? Come on, there's better plays out. There's better plays out there this
There's no
week.
way
There's
you're
going to be a
playing Duke
lot
Johnson
of good
this
plays.
week.
You cannot play
Dunkel, are
Duke
you going to make it 4 for 4 on Miami on this show, or what do we got?
Yes, 100%. I'm on the Miami side. The only concern. So statistically, this line's ridiculous. This line should be like 3.5 tops. But so the only issue I have is more narrative based. You don't see this often a lot in the NFL. But this week I know it's tough to kind of put your head in people in the locker room, but man, before last week, the Dolphins had won a lot of games in a row and were really riding momentum hard into this game. They lose last week, and that locker room, it's got to be a night and day week for them with what they're thinking, because I'm sure they want to end the season on a positive note, and I think numbers wise it makes sense. But man, I can't imagine you're getting as much work ethic from your guys this week, knowing that they're not making the playoffs. So that's my only concern. But I do
similar to ODB's point on that other game, maybe.
Okay, so I was actually going to bring that up because I use that with the Vikings. The difference that I see between the Vikings and the Dolphins is that the Vikings basically been playing since week 1 hard. The Dolphins really, they played the last 8 weeks. Let's say 8 weeks. They had a 7-game winning streak, and the 8th game they lost. They played the last 8 weeks basically out of the playoffs. They really only had a shot for the playoffs basically the last week or two. So they've been playing for pride for 5 weeks. I mean, they were 1-7. They weren't playing for the playoffs. They were 2-7. They weren't playing for the playoffs. They were 4-7. They weren't playing for the playoffs. I really don't think that it's as big of a deal as it was with the Vikings, because the Vikings started the season playoffs. They were midway through the season. They were playoffs. 3/4 of the way season, they were in the line for the playoffs. The Dolphins really only had a week or two. Flores got this team to play when they were 1-7 and 2-7 and 3-7. And he got them to play hard. So I don't really think that stops in week 17 or week 18. But I do agree. I mean, that was a thought that ran through my head because it is a narrative that I do like. When teams are eliminated, kind of quitting that last week. But I don't know if that necessarily applies with them as much. That's just my
especially with Flores going against Belichick. He wants to give it a Belichick. There's no way he wants to just, say, no, it's all right, guys. We'll sit some of you. We'll just let them beat up on us in Miami. There's just no way.
But I mean, I do like Dunkel bringing that up because that is a definite thing that I did say about the previous game. So it does make a lot of sense that you could say a similar thing here, but that's the only reason why I don't feel as much.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, this is like going to be a game I fire on, specifically with the Dolphins grabbing the points, or I might bet the Patriots under the team total. It might make more sense, but either way, yeah, you just don't see it often where a team like this wins 7 straight to end the year and then lose one of the games. Because if they won last week, they were basically almost a coin flip to make the playoffs. But ultimately this will likely be a game I fire on despite that interesting narrative.
In week 18, you do have to basically go with some assumptions and just try to guess at what, and you could guess that way or you could guess the other way. But I mean, there is a lot, like you said, you have to stick your head in there and try to guess how a team's gonna feel. And, so we're going to look stupid on a few of them. We just hope that we don't look stupid that we look smart on.
We just got to be right more than we're wrong.
Yeah.
Or be really right on a few spots and not as wrong in some other spots.
Yeah. You're not going to get everything right.
We're definitely going to be wrong. I mean, one or two of these spots, people are just going to play and we're going to be wrong and they'll make us look stupid, but hopefully we're right more than we're wrong. And dude in the chat, Josh, stop talking about Duke Johnson. Come on. Come back next week for the playoff stronger, my man. You can't play Duke Johnson. Can't do it.
I gotta say, to Josh's defense, he wasn't the only one talking up Duke Johnson.
Can't play Duke Johnson this week. I'm putting it out. You cannot play Duke Johnson this week. You can't do it, guys.
All right. We still got like 5 games to talk about. So let's try and let's try and kick it up a notch here, fellas. Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks -8 at home. 41.5 is the total. And they are without Mr. AB, who will be on the sidelines for the rest of the year. Tom Brady will now be throwing game-winning touchdowns to Cyril Grayson and friggin' Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski and Tyler Johnson, whoever else they got. Brashad Perryman's going to come out of nowhere and house one for Tony. We'll see. But so this game, what are the Bucks doing? I think they're going to play their guys, right? I mean, Bruce Arians said it in the text to AB. That's why he wouldn't let AB sit with his hurt foot. He said, we're playing hard. So what are we doing here, Tony?
Yeah, I'm not playing spots like this. I don't know. I just like to simplify it. Everyone that's listened to these shows for the last couple years, I like to simplify stuff, and I just don't, in my head, see a reason Tampa Bay would sell out in this game. They're not really – nothing's going to change, right? They can't get the 1 seed. They're locked into like a 1-week home game.
I don't think they have the bye locked up.
They don't have. They can't get the bye.
They can't. The even if they win and Green Bay were to lose,
Green Bay's already got the bye.
Only one bye.
They got the bye. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. I guess they would be looking for home field advantage, I guess, against the Rams.
Yeah. I mean, the Rams and them, but yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to tank it because they'll definitely play their guys and try to get the win here. If it's the fourth quarter, I want a team that there's plenty of teams out there that I think will push the pedal the whole time. I'm just not on this Tampa side. I'm not overly sold on Tampa in general. They got turbulence going. I mean, I know it's AB, but it's also all those injuries. I just don't see it. I'm not going to be on Tampa here. I'm not going to be on Carolina either because Carolina has totally tanked and fallen apart too. This is just going to be a stay away game. I can see Mike Evans trying to get that record. Maybe you play a guy like him and maybe he has a good half, but I mean, Ronald Jones, this is what I was afraid of last week. They don't trust Ronald Jones. They don't really want to push that pedal. Mike Evans would be the only way I would go in this game.
So there's a few things here with this game.
Lev Bell, we're going to get Lev Bell's 15-piece for Dunkel.
Oh, baby.
This is Lev Bell week, baby.
I was not going to say anything about Lev Bell, but I was going to say Rob Gronkowski needs 85 receiving yards to earn $500,000. He also
needs $500,000 if he gets 85 yards.
85 receiving yards. Yep. He also needs 7 receptions to earn another $500,000. And then he also needs 3 touchdowns for $500,000, which that's probably not going to get there. But I will say, you don't think Tom Brady and his boy Rob Gronk, hey, Tom, listen, I need 7. I need 85. Come on, let's go. Get it up for your old boy Gronk. That's going to happen here. You can lock that shit up right now. And then Brady.
We can lock up the 7 for 85.
Well, I think he gets 85. You don't think that they don't know these numbers? They know these numbers. This is come on.
I'm just not sure they care all that much. I think we might overpump
$500,000 for Tony.
Gronk's got lots of cheese.
No. Rob Gronkowski is not Tom Brady. I keep trying to tell you guys this. They don't make quarterback money, these guys. Like, they make great money still. Like, to us, it's amazing. But $500,000? No. Yeah. Do you guys really think like Tony ODB?
I don't.
For a guy like Gronk, $500,000.
I think if he's at all banged up, Brady says, "Here, I'll write you a check for $500,000. Just fucking don't get hurt. Don't get hurt."
I think Tampa Bay would even cut the check. Like, listen, Gronk, you're not going to go for. Here's the $500,000.
That would actually be ultimate GOAT hero from Brady if he just wrote Evans and Gronk checks for their incentive money and just said, "Here, just take it."
At least Josh is with you in the chat. Mr. Duke Johnson thinks 10 for $150 and 3 tutties for Gronk.
I don't hate the Gronk call, but I wouldn't. Nothing would surprise me if he played 25 snaps. It wouldn't surprise me if he went for 8 and 140 and 3 touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me.
That
All
would
I
surprise
know is
me.
if he plays 25 snaps, he's going to get 10 targets in those 25 snaps. That's all I know. I'll tell you right now, Tony.
He's going to get 10 targets in 25 snaps?
I'm telling you, he's going to get this 85 yards.
It's definitely possible.
Just like I told you, he scored 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. He's getting 85 yards. All right, I'm putting it down. Everyone can hear me talk on this microphone now. And you know what, Snyder? Fuck you. I wasn't going to make this show 4 hours, but I might just talk about Gronk for about 30 minutes right now and make this show go 4 hours just for you, Snyder. So you better hold back, sir. I haven't checked my golf picks yet, but if I'm doing bad, I'm going to blame you, Snyder, specifically. So just be ready. I want make sure my golf winners are doing good. All right. I trust in Snyder, but I will say Gronk is getting this 85 yards. Tony hates it. Also, Tom Brady needs 488 yards to break single season passing record.
My point is, I think we're putting way too much into these like incentive stuff.
Okay.
It's all guessing here. I mean, there's a chance that Tom Brady says, "Fuck Aaron Rodgers. He's not playing. I'm gonna hang fucking 530 on this Carolina bullshit team. I'm gonna give my boy Gronk 3 touchdowns, and I don't need AB. I'm just gonna show the world I don't need AB. I don't care who's out here. I'll throw to Cyril Gatz, whatever the fucking guy's name is. I literally never even heard of that guy until last week.
I should have my boy just FaceTime Gronk right now and ask him. Say, does $500,000 matter to you? I would love to know the answer to that question.
I actually went and sat in Gronk's box in Buffalo for a Patriots Bills game. Sat with the family, hung out with the Gronk family. It was pretty fun.
They're really nice.
Yeah,
really
they're all
nice.
cool. They like to gamble too. So that 500 might matter.
But he might be in a little hole.
But I will tell you one thing. I did not fucking enjoy Rojo Chalk Week last week. I never play that guy. I try not to play the chalk, and I played Rojo, and he destroyed me last week. So I hate that guy. But I cannot play Carolina in this football game.
This is true
Carolina
too.
Sucks.
Grant Singleton's Gronk hasn't cashed a single one of those NFL checks as his salary. That's a fact. Like I'm telling you, my buddy is like really good friends with him. Stays over his house all the time when he's in New England. Really, really close with him. He doesn't touch his in-season money. Like, does not touch it. All of his money comes from he does not use any of it. That's 100% a fact. So he definitely has a lot of cheese. Whatever cheese he's made in the NFL, he's got most of it still, as wild as that is. Like, he doesn't use that money. So
but doesn't that debunk your theory?
That he's still, to me, that means that he likes money. If you're saving money like that, you like money.
Here goes the bike moving backwards.
I'm not moving backwards. He likes money.
We all like money.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to make fun. All right, we'll see what happens.
I like your take, JSU, and I think Gronk might be good. If Brady wants to say "fuck you, AB," "fuck you, Aaron,"
why doesn't
Rodgers,
he say "fuck you, AB" in the playoffs?
Well, he is going to, but I mean, this is the week he can say "fuck you, Aaron Rodgers." I'm still the man. I'm the GOAT. I'm gonna take your MVP while
they're
you
going to play each other in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, well, he already beats him. He already beat him last year. Anyway, I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion about this game, but I would. If I'm going to play anything, it's Tampa.
I don't agree with you guys, but I will say that I do agree that we're going to be wrong in one or two spots, like we said. It's not totally insane that Brady just goes off and throws some touchdowns to these guys. Like, I wouldn't be totally shocked. So I'll take a step back and agree with you guys a little there. Like, I don't think it happens, but I wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
I took a step back when you guys all talked about Rodgers, and it made clear sense to me that Green Bay, there's just no way that they roll those guys out there for more than really anything probably. So I step back there. I do think this is the one spot where Brady and Arians, Brady talked about it. Their offense has been kind of funky too. So he might want to get more of a rhythm, especially now with AB out. Now with
And
AB
Cyril
out,
Grayson.
he needs reps with some
He
of
needs
these other
reps
guys.
with these guys for 100%. And they look bad against the Jets. Like, they're not in playoff form. So
Right.
I can definitely see it's not like the team's in playoff form and they need a break. Like, this team needs to get right because they have the Rams coming in or the Niners coming in a couple weeks. And that's not an easy game. So I could definitely see Brady going out there and trying to get right. Like, some people play the last preseason game, some don't. Like, it depends on where you are as an offense. And this offense needs to get things right. So you could play Cyril or Scotty Miller or Johnson or Gronk because somebody's going off there. And they're all cheap. So if you land on the right one, then,
Agreed. Dunkel, you've been quiet in this. Real quick, get your take on this game, and then we'll move on.
You guys talk about this game for a half hour and JSU's. Dunkel, your opinion for like 10 seconds, real quick. Let's move on. So I
mean, Dunkel, go for it. We can make this a 4-hour show. I don't care. I mean, talk what
We
you
did
want.
talk for like 30 minutes, and then he told Dunkel.
real quick. Wrap it up.
Well,
real
he
quick.
sat there quiet and didn't say nothing. So I assume he had no opinion on this game because he literally didn't talk through the whole thing. But Dunkel, I appreciate you not trying to interject, even though I love it when Dunkel interjects and gives his opinions. But I appreciate it. Now, please give us your take on this game.
Yes, I think that I would have said it, but ODB began to mention about, look, Brady, if Brady throws for like 300 or 400 yards in this game, like, he's going to have almost 1,500 more passing yards than Aaron Rodgers. Like, if you're him, you're like, how could I not be the MVP? I have almost, 8 to 9 more touchdowns, assuming he throws 3 or 4 in this game, 8 to 9 more touchdowns than you, 1,500 more passing yards than you, and only like a few more interceptions. Why would I not be the MVP? So I don't disagree with that take at all, but I think you can just, if you're on that belief train, to me, instead of betting this game at all, just bet Tom Brady to win MVP at like plus 300. If the dude goes nuclear in this game, he's going to win the MVP. The numbers will be too dramatically different for them to give it to Rodgers. So
I don't agree with that, for the record.
What if he beats Peyton Manning's single season passing record?
I think that it is a deadlock. Rodgers wins the MVP.
But I don't mind it from the stance of the record and how he's played, but like, just look at their raw numbers. Like, it's not, I mean, Rodgers' numbers are, especially if Brady plays well in this game, they're a lot worse. Like,
yeah.
But it
doesn't mean I'm right. I just say I don't think the numbers matter this week as far as that.
And then I mentioned before that I know these leagues, I know it sounds silly, they don't often like to give back-to-back MVPs to the same player. I mean, you saw it for a long time with LeBron James in the NBA. He was clearly the best player for like 10 straight years, and they alternated when he won MVPs. And then you have the narrative of the people voting that don't like him. Either way, I just think that if you think Brady goes nuclear here, in my opinion, you can bet all his player props over. You can bet him over 2.5 passing touchdowns. You can bet him over probably 285 passing yards and completions and attempts. Sure. But I think if you truly believe he's going to go nuclear, just bet him to win MVP at plus 300 and move on to next week.
All right. I like the take there. I think I'm going to play some Tom Brady this week. I think I've gotten that set up for my DFS lineup. So we'll see. Maybe by Sunday I can talk Tony into a little Brady stack. We'll find out though. Nothing. The problem is the Carolina side. That's what I gotta try and sell myself on is something because
good luck with that.
That's what I mean is that's the problem with stacks. But all right, let's move on. We got the New Orleans Saints against the Atlanta Falcons here. Saints minus 3.5 in Atlanta. 39.5 is the total in this game. And guys, I don't know about you, but I'm not touching the Falcons. I think this is a game that I want nothing to do for DFS for sure. I want nothing to do with it. I probably lean the Saints here as well, but ODB, let's get your take on this game.
I love the Saints. Might be my favorite game of the week. I don't understand this line at all. The Saints are playing for a playoff spot, and the Falcons are bottom 8 team in the league. I think they suck. I think the Saints just bottle up this Falcons defense. I think Taysom Hill is fine. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked and figured out lineups yet, but I wouldn't be opposed to playing Taysom. I mean, he's just always got the nice floor with the run. I love this game. I think this game should be north of a touchdown. I don't understand this line, and it seems to be moving Atlanta's direction. It's under 4 right now. It's like 3.5. I don't get it. I will be on the Saints 100%.
All right, lock it up. You heard it there first, people. Well, Dunkel, we'll go to you next, so Tony doesn't friggin' talk over you for like a half an hour. So, what do you got in this game?
See how he swung that, Tony? How
he tried to blame me. That's very hurtful.
Your fault for his egregious comment?
Hey, Dunkel, come on. You're supposed to be on my side here. Remember, I love doing shows with you. You love doing shows with me. We do the Up to Lock show for the premium members that run Pure Sports. If you're not a premium member, you miss out on me and Dunkel, 11:30 all the way up to lock every Sunday for the people, for the members. So check us out over there. Sign up at Run Pure Sports, and you get to see me and Dunkel for another hour and a half just hanging out. And there's no Tony to friggin' butt into our conversations. I mean, it's just it's a great time. I love it. But all right, back to this game.
I'm gonna guess that you have 85% of the words spoken in that show.
Dunkel, would you go over 85, or is the number true?
That's a good number.
That's a good number, I will say.
That's a good number. You got to see it. He asks himself questions. He answers his questions.
He asks himself questions. Oh, no, that's funny.
Yeah, so I'll say this. So much like the Bears, Justin Fields, they're 2-8 with him, and their record's like 5-3 when he doesn't play. This Saints squad, when it's not Ian Book or Semien, the Saints have like 3 total losses all year or something like that. So Taysom and Jameis were good for this team, and Taysom's back. You can do kind of like what you want against the Falcons, but look, credit to them. Like, all things considered, with what they dealt with this year, they had a pretty good season themselves. So, I'm not in love with the Saints here because I think that the Falcons had a better year than anticipated, and it wouldn't surprise me if they, really want to try to, end on a high note with a win. So I'll stay away from this game. But yeah, I would have more faith on the Saints end with Taysom being a quarterback.
And I'm back. Tony, let's get your takes on your boy Taysom here. Is it a lock like ODB's talking about, or you want nothing to do with it like Dunkel?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have that many spots this week that you have clear motivation and clear great spot for a guy, and that's Taysom this week. I'm kind of known as the Taysom guy. I haven't been on him a ton this year. He went off the one spot. This is the Taysom spot for sure, though. He's had good success against Atlanta in the past. It's just such a freaking good Taysom spot. So I love that ODB was on it because, I mean, so you got the Saints. Correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not 100% sure of this, but if the Saints win and the Niners lose, the Saints are in, right?
Yeah. I do believe it's that simple.
Okay,
Yeah.
So, the Niners are in a tough spot this week. So Saints have as much motivation as anyone. Taysom is 6,200. That is significantly underpriced, and I love it. I'm going to have tons and tons of Taysom this week. I think he goes off. So the hard part is, what do we do with Kamara? What do we do? Who do we pair him with? I still want to pair him with someone. I think you can go cheap, though, and then go up to some other guys we wanted to get up to. Deontay Harris is always my guy. I like to play with Taysom. He's not going to be owned either this week, 3,200. I always like his upside. You can just punt a tight end too, like Troutman or somebody. I don't know that part, but come Sunday, maybe we have a better idea of that part. You can play Kamara too, but I couldn't agree more with ODB. I mean, the Saints, I don't understand this number. Atlanta's been good. They've been respectable, 7-9. They've played pretty tough. But, man, the Saints are just a great defense. They're a much better football team. They got to win to get in. I agree. I'm going to be all aboard the Taysom train this week. Yeah, and the dude Grant in the chat rushing prop over, definitely pound the Taysom overs. Taysom's going to crush this week, like totally crush. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like 30 fantasy points.
All right, Taysom week for the people and Big T. I do like the Saints with you guys.
How's Atlanta going to score?
That's my problem with, loading up on Taysom.
That's like all these games this week. Maybe it's a non-stack week. We just play all the one-sided games.
Yeah,
just
it
play
might
solo
just be.
Taysom.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the 49ers.
I do think this is a week you don't have to stack. I never say that, but and not by stack, I mean game stack, where I don't think you have to play run like the Tennessee side and the Indy side. You don't have to run back some of these spots. Just play the teams that need to do good, fade some of the other spots. I'm glad that we're in unison about the Saints, though.
All right. So I was going to do something, but shout out to my boy Crane. It came into my head right after one piece of wisdom he gave to me when I was hosting a show with him one day was you never end on a shitty ass game. And I almost did that by the order of the last two games, but I corrected myself and we will go to the New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills here. Bills, minus 16 at home in this spot against the Jets. 41.5 is the total. And I think one of the bigger contract incentive things when it comes to Stephon Diggs is in this game because that dude has a chance for not 1 million, not 2 million, but $3 million in incentives here. 1.5, pretty much like 1.5 million each. He needs 6 receptions to earn $1.5 million because he's currently at 94 receptions. So to get to that 100 mark, he needs 6. And then he also needs, this is probably a stretch, but 231 receiving yards for another 1.55 million. So take it for what you will, but those are the Stephon Diggs incentives. Bills in this spot, guys. I mean, what are we doing here with the Jets, who I will say a lot of people counted them out against Tampa. Dunkel, we were on the show. I said to you, I kind of like the Jets here. I like playing some of the Jets on the show. I know you like Berrios a ton. You were heavy on Berrios. But I said, I think the Jets can hang around. Could they hang around against Buffalo again? Could they give Buffalo a game? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know full game wise. I mean, Buffalo has all the incentive in the world to win. However, Buffalo doesn't have incentive to stomp on this team's throat. But yeah, if I would bet this side, I'd lay the points. I wouldn't take them. I just think that the Jets have had all things considered, a decent few games here in a row. Their offense has looked a little better. To Zach Wilson's credit, he's looked better as well, and they found interesting ways to use Braxton Berrios, which was kind of a surprise as well. But yeah, if I would bet this game, I'd lay it. I think the number's too small, to be honest.
ODB, do the Jets have a shot here to keep this game relatively close, or is it all Buffalo?
I don't know. I was all in on the Bucs last week. That hurt. I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of ways for Buffalo to just stop playing this game. I mean, if the Patriots are up 30 or whatever, they don't have incentive anymore. If they get up, they might pull and rest Josh Allen. I do like that Diggs. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. They're going to score on the Jets. So I don't really have a take. It's a big number. If I'm I'd rather just pass. There are other games I like better than this one.
Tony, anything on this Buffalo game?
No, I'm with you guys. Buffalo probably wins. I'm not going to play any Jets. The number just depends on how much you think Buffalo wants to kill them. Back door is probably going to be open late. I'm off this game.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll play Josh Allen, but I will consider Stephon Diggs with these numbers, but I don't know if it's a Josh Allen spot for me. All right, let's go on to the last game of this slate, this massive slate. We got the 49ers against the LA Rams. Rams at home, -4.5 are the favorites. 44.5 is the total. in this game. And this is a big game, especially for the 49ers. If they win, pretty much they're in. If they lose, they open the door for the Saints, like you guys were talking about. ODB, coming to you here first. What do you think of this game?
First off, it's not the last game. We have Arizona, Seattle as well. But
get him, ODB.
That's why we got 4 people on this show, to make sure I'm running straight. All right, ODB.
I just can't wait to bet against the Rams in the playoffs. That's all I know. Matt Stafford sucks. Jared Goff is as good as Matt Stafford. I do not. This Matt Stafford fucking throws a pick 6 every fucking week, and I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of it. And so I'll probably play the Niners because I'm tired of watching Matt Stafford throw pick 6s. That's it. I don't know.
All right. I kind of like it. I definitely like the Rams are frauds, because I've been saying that all season. So I'm riding that boat until it either crashes and burns or until it fills my pockets with money, because you know me, I only go one way and it's all in. So, Dunkel, tell me why you think the 49ers are going to own the Rams in this spot.
Yeah, so I am on the side of preferring the 49ers. Look, I don't know if we're going to get Jimmy G or Trey Lance here, but if this team makes the playoffs, I said this for a while, this is a pretty scary team. I mean, this is pound for pound one of the best offenses in football, believe it or not, in terms of yards per play, points per play. Now Jimmy G does happen to turn the ball over a bit too much, but this is a tremendous offense. And if they can sneak in, they play good defense, they have a good D-line. So it's a big game for them and very important, of course. The Rams are already in. Now this game could solidify them to have home field advantage, but they don't have as good of home field advantage as other teams do. But overall, yeah, I like the 49ers in this spot, catching 4. I don't know who we're getting. I think we're probably going to get Trey Lance, right? I mean, I'm just going to figure out how I want to bet this game. I may just bet the 49ers over the team total. I do prefer to make that type of bet, though, when I have Jimmy G instead of Trey Lance. But, I'll wait to see once I get more official news there on exactly who's going to start this game. But I will likely have a bet related to the 49ers or correlated, whether it's their team total, first half, full game, something related to the 49ers in this one.
All right, Tony, I know you've been a Rams backer this year. Real quick, before we get your take on this game, I just want to let you know Cooper Kupp needs 12 receptions to break the single season record there. He also needs 136 yards to break the single season record there. He's 171 away from 2,000. Is it a Cooper Kupp smash game? Do you not like the Rams here? What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, so this is where the week gets somewhat easy, I think. Like, Cooper Kupp is super expensive, but the Rams have to win, and I don't see how you don't play him with all the value. He's got some incentives too, which is nice. I think you just play Cooper Kupp and take your chances. He's been so good. But where it gets interesting for me, the Niners definitely own the Rams. Like, make no mistake about it. The last time they played, I said it, and then they just shoved on them. Just straight shoved on them, owned them. But that wasn't with Trey Lance, which is a little worrisome to me. I mean, he looks pretty bad. And I'm not a Jimmy G fan. I think Trey Lance will be better than him, obviously, going forward. But in this one-game sample where San Fran has to win to get in the playoffs on the road and the Rams need to win to get a home game, I struggle to see Trey Lance winning this game on the road, even though the Niners own him. So I kind of hope Jimmy G somehow plays, because if Jimmy G plays, I'll like the Niners for sure. Trey Lance, I'm not so sure. I don't know if Trey Lance can win a road game against this Rams team. They could just run it down their throat again like they did last game. I mean, what did Mitchell go last game versus this team? He wasn't even the one.
They fucking owned him. I think Jeff Wilson was running.
Yeah, it wasn't even Mitchell. It was.
I think it was Wilson.
Jeff Wilson did. I was trying to find the numbers.
Either way, I know George Kittle was blocking people onto their asses.
Yeah. And they embarrassed them. They crushed them.
Yeah.
Man, Trey Lance, though, I don't know. But either way, this game, both teams need to win in this game. You're going to want some pieces from this game for sure, just because of the motivation from both teams.
The fact you know who you're getting for a full game.
Yeah, you know who you're getting. I mean, both teams should play their guys the whole game. The only total lock though, until we get the Trey Lance, Jimmy G news, is Cooper Kupp for me. We'll wait and see the rest of the news. Whoever the running back is, if it's Mitchell, I will definitely like Mitchell in this game. But yeah, Trey Lance is going to be an important decision for me as the week goes.
So is it? It's not official. Trey Lance is definitely the starter, right? It's just.
I don't think so. At least.
I will say my opinion is exactly what Tony says. My thought process on liking the Niners was assuming that Jimmy plays. I think Trey Lance is not very good at quarterback, and I was pretty aggravated last week that everybody who played Trey Lance got there at the end of the game because
it was so gross that how he got there at the end of that game.
I did not play Trey Lance, and everybody who just projection sticks him in, not understanding the fact that this guy's not very good at football, or he would have played over Jimmy G by now. I mean, I understand it doesn't take a lot to clear your value at 4,800. So I understand why the play was made, but I was just loving my fade for 3 quarters, and that just bit me on the ass because he got a couple bullshit long,
And I will make that a third as well with the Jimmy G comment. My take on this game is the 49ers, if Jimmy G plays, if Trey Lance is in, I agree with both of you guys that he's probably not ready to own the Rams away from home.
To take a home game away from them.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not when the Rams need the game. Rams need to win too, right? This is to
get a home game. I'm pretty sure if they lose, they don't get the home game.
They either get the 2 seed or the 5 seed. So, I mean, you're basically talking about either going to Dallas or having the Eagles at home. So, I mean, it's a pretty big deal. Plus, win the division. I mean, the Rams are going to go out for sure. It's just a matter of
they stay on the opposite side of Green Bay too. It's a massive game, but the Rams probably going to win either way. The more I'm thinking about it, it's a massive game for the Rams.
I do think George Kittle needs 100 yards to get to the 1,000-yard mark for the season.
How do you have all these? Where do you get these things from? Is it a place?
No, I got notes.
Did you take notes though, or you found a page you're reading them from?
Prepared host.
Hold on.
That is a prepared host. That's right, Dunkel.
I'll text you a picture. I got notes here. I'll show you.
You just went through and looked at every damn team and all the incentives and took notes.
I'll show you.
It's impressive.
It's not that hard.
I mean, it's impressive.
There, I just sent it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't make fun of my typing because there's probably some
I'm being serious. It's impressive that you got all those things before the Thursday show.
Yeah, Cook's 13 catches for 150K bonus. I think I read Justin Herbert needs 369 yards to get to 5,000. That's the nightcapping game. Stafford needs 2 touchdowns to get to 40. I think that's going to be easy.
How many picks does he need to get to 20? Or 30.
I didn't get that milestone. Did they get incentives for that milestone? Because I would have.
Does he get to Does he pass Matt Schaub for the most pick sixes in one season? Has he reached that milestone yet?
I don't know, but he needs 352 yards to get to the 5,000 passing yard mark. So.
Yeah, I played him versus Baltimore's terrible secondary last week.
Yeah, well,
I'm bitter. Okay.
That's fine.
Move on.
It's fair. It's all good. All right. We got one more game courtesy of ODB because I was totally about to skip over it because I definitely missed it on my sheet, but that's okay. Prepared JSU can fuck up from time to time. Also, before we hit this game and finish the show out, don't forget to hit the like button on the way out, you freeloaders. No, I appreciate everyone that's watching the show, but if you are watching this show for free and you're not a member at Run Pure Sports, you want to become a member, very easy to sign up. Check us out here, $80 for the month, gets you every single sport, all for one price. $80 gets you everything on the site. When NASCAR's there, MMA, PGA, MLB, you know the whole spiel, every single sport. And then you could add the bet side. And it's only an extra $20 to add the bet side. at that price at 80 plus the 20. So, I mean, it's just the easiest deal on the board. The bet side's got a lot of good stuff. Tons of betting content, tons of shows. Also, a lot of free shows on their YouTube page as well. So make sure you check out the Run Pure Bets YouTube page, where Dunkel gives out some free winners from time to time. Correct, Dunkel? No. The winners are not on mute.
The season on the
Can't give a winner on mute, Dunkel. Come on.
Damn it. We almost went a whole show. Sorry, guys. I really let you down.
God, I teed that thing up for you, Dunkel, and you just went.
Dunkel was having a great show, too. He was roasting people and then just finishes with the mute button.
Damn it.
Yeah, he was killing me for my, my up to lock 85, asking myself questions. I mean, that comment was the purest comment of the show, no doubt in my mind.
Sad to say, I kind of lost my complete train of thought now. I don't even know what I was asking.
Well, Dunkel, I was gonna, ask you to let people know all the winners that you guys pick over at Run Pure Bets and the YouTube channel, where you give out free bets from time to time on the channel and on your Twitter page. So,
Yeah, sure. Even more than a few times a week. We got Kegs live shows kicking back off, which will be nice with NASCAR starting up. We're going to pick back up with the weekly golf show that I do with Travis, the other knee house, Uncle T, and Snyder as well. So, look forward to that every basically Tuesday or Wednesday night. But
what night are you guys going to do that show? What night are you guys going to do the golf bet show?
We used to do either Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever worked better for everybody. Always one of those nights, though.
That was always a good show. I like that show. I'm excited for golf season. ODB's a big golf. We got to get ODB on some golf shows, too. He likes to golf.
Yeah, I thought I was going to win Showdown today, and then fucking JT and Harris English shit the bed.
JT totally died today.
He was terrible.
Yeah, and anyway. I would be I gotta just remember, because we just posted the Keg live bet show. Keg, $40 for the month. If you want Keg's live betting shows, he's on there. He's on there friggin', it seems like for every damn sport, all the time, giving out friggin' live bets during the games. Dunkel, I mean, you could talk a little more on this, but it's a package at Run Pure Sports if you wanted to just buy for Keg's live bets. I mean, he's on there a ton.
Yeah. So Keg's gonna have his 4 to 5 shows a week, most of which will be private. $40 a month, you can get every one of them. I know that when we started doing this together, he had a lot of people originally come over he's had a live show for years. So $40. You'll get every single one of his live shows and every one of his live picks. And with NASCAR season, that's the season he completely slammed. So looking forward to that starting up.
All right, we'll check my guy Keg out. He's the man. Love Keg. Being there. All right. We finished. We're almost done with this show. We almost made it. And you got, of course, JSU coming up short. How ironic. Oh, here we ha. The short jokes. Bring them on. Bring on all the short shit. I don't care. Go fuck yourself. No, I'm kidding. So let's talk about this last game and get the fuck out of here. Seattle versus, I'll say, my Arizona Cardinals, who I gave no credit to last week. And took my L because of it, because I went against my team. Tony, I should have stayed stubborn, but I went with what my eyes were telling me, and my eyes lost the battle. So I need help. I need help from Tony Niehaus on this one game. I will listen to what you say, because Arizona has been my kryptonite this year. I swear to God, they're Jekyll and Hyde. And I don't know what the fuck to do with them. -7 here at home against Seattle.
Yeah, I don't like Arizona, but Dallas is a little Jekyll and Hyde too. Every time we think they're incredible, they just randomly squander a game like last week. I don't like Arizona. I have a hard time. Seattle's looked somewhat decent the last couple weeks too. I don't like this game either. I'm not very high on this game, just looking at it. I kind of like Seattle if I had to choose, getting the 7 or whatever, the 6.5, 7, whatever the number is. I lean Seattle. So Arizona, what are they? I mean, if the Rams lose, they could get the what?
They could win the division. Yeah. to get a home game.
Yeah, get a home game, whatever seed that ends up. I just don't like Arizona. DFS wise, I don't really even know who you would play on Arizona. That's one of the reasons I don't like Arizona. I legitimately don't like any of their players. So I don't know. One of these guys will have to help you out, JSU. I can't do it here.
Well, the reason why I thought you were going to give this bet out, and I think Seattle's live to win this game. And that's why I wanted to see what you were going to say, because I thought you were going to say that. And
I mean, I definitely like Seattle, but Arizona has motivation, so I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't like the game. I like other spots more.
ODB, maybe you can push me one way or the other. What do you got?
I mean, this is one of those spots where, just choose your narrative and you can make a case for either side. I mean, if I had to wage an argument either way, I could, so I don't love it. But I really don't like the Seattle team. I don't really like guys who are used to playing for the playoffs being done and then having to get fired up to play a game that, Russ Wilson just played this last game in Seattle. Carroll last game in Seattle. Now they got to go to Arizona and play. I just don't really see a lot of motivation. They are as healthy as they've been all year, though, so it wouldn't shock me if they stay competitive. But I think this is a game that Arizona, if they get up, that Seattle could just fold. I mean, they looked good last week, but they got up big against Detroit early with a couple of big plays, a couple turnovers, and it was just a game that just played straight downhill. So if they get down, which I could definitely see happening against a very motivated Arizona team, I think they could fold. So if I have to play a side, I'm going to play the Cardinals. Zach Ertz has been very highly targeted. I like him. I like this Wesley kid. I think he looks good. They throw him the ball a lot. I'm not sure what his price is, but there's a lot of targets up for grabs. And I'm guessing Connor's not going to play again. And if he doesn't, Edmonds is fine too. So, I mean, I think there's plays on Arizona's side because you don't have to pay a lot. And I think Seattle could fold. So that's kind of my take on the game.
Yeah, I think I agree with Keg's live show only in the chat. If Seattle wins this game, I think Penny is a big reason why. We've seen Arizona at times the last few weeks struggle against some of these run defense. I know Detroit ripped them up on the ground with their backup running back. So, I mean, I do think Penny would be a big part to Seattle's success if they had a shot to win. But Dunkel, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit on the opposite. I do like I like what I've seen from Seattle down the stretch here, these last 2 or 3 games. Felt like they've been a lot more competitive. I feel like Russ Wilson, Chef Russ has looked much better as well. They had a little coming out party last week. I don't think you'll get that in this one, but we just had a more confident Seattle. And I don't know if Russ Wilson, is going to be back on this team next year. Or even Pete Carroll for that matter. Wouldn't be crazy if this team tries to go out with a bit of a bang. I think the number's a little big. I likely won't bet this game, though. I know I've said that on a few different games where I'm not betting it now, but I will. This will likely not be a game I bet. I've also lost back-to-back first half overs with Arizona. I guess I could go back to that well, but thinking maybe this will be the time it hits. But I'll likely stay away from this game, but I do lean Seattle plus the points.
All right. I like it. There we go. People, week 18, Print Factory in the books. Boys, I'll give you the last words here. ODB, great having you on. I know you were hit and miss some weeks during the World Series stuff, but always glad to listen to your takes for football. Really enjoyed having you on the show. Thanks for doing it. Hopefully we get you back next year.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to talk football, because not only do I love football, but I like talking about it. I like to hear other opinions on it. You guys have definitely, my better weeks have been when I've hung out with you guys for a couple hours on a Thursday afternoon. I mean, the World Series was at a weird time this year, NFL, but it goes back to the normal summer spot next year. So next year, hopefully you'll be back and we can discuss things and I can be part of this team again. I love Tony, and he's one of my favorite people I've met, in this world, and sports and gambling and DFS and all that, and I value his opinion, and what he's done with this company has just been outstanding. Took it kind of from a dream of just him thinking about it, and he turned it into pretty much, you guys are one of, if not the leader in the industry at this point, I think. I mean, it feels like the places that I used to go are kind of, they're lacking on the effort, and you guys seem to be putting it in. So I'm glad to be part of this team, and I hope to do some things in the future, maybe make a guest appearance on some playoff spots, and we'll just go from there. So thank you for letting me be a part of it. And that's it. Everybody have a good week 18.
We're gonna definitely have some playoff stuff. So guaranteed, we'll be sending the invite your way. No doubt in my mind, right, Tony? We're gonna be getting ODB on some playoff shows.
Yeah, I mean, ODB making me feel good here, talking me up a little bit, making me feel good. But honestly, I love this show too. I mean, it's a long show. When we have sharp people like ODB come on here and give takes from a different angle. I think on this show we give takes from a bunch of different angles, which it goes long and we make jokes, and some people might not like how long it goes, but I think we give a ton of good insight, and I love the dynamics. We talk trash, we have fun, we pick winners. I've loved it. So I appreciate the compliment, but we love having ODB on here too.
No doubt. Dunkel, another year in the books, my friend. I always love spending a few hours on a Thursday, Wednesday, whatever day that I get to see Dunkel at night. I always love it. And, my wife actually, well, soon to be wife, actually, not wife yet, but my wife actually. So she thinks that you are a very funny person. She said to me last week, she said, that Uncle Dunkel guy, he cracks me up sometimes because of your stone-faced demeanor. And then you'll just do those one-liners, punch jokes like you kind of give me, and she chuckles at them. So thank you for that. My wife, or soon-to-be wife, likes to laugh at me, and you've made her do that a few times. I appreciate that.
I appreciate the kind words. I do this show because I'm nice. I fucking hate all three of you.
Yeah, right. Stop the circle jerk.
Yeah, somebody had to cut the. Geez, I was starting to cry. No, seriously though, this show has been super helpful for me. It does give different perspectives and good perspectives, and I think we're all able to get what we use best to do whatever we're going to do gamble wise, betting wise. And this show's definitely a focal point to my week. I actually end up putting in a lot of bets right after this show weekly. So yeah, looking forward to next year and even some more playoff shows, and strong 2022.
We'll definitely do some playoff stuff too. This is more of the last 3-hour show. The playoff shows will be more of the 45-minute variety, probably with the smaller slates and stuff.
Maybe 2 hours,
but maybe 2-hour variety.
We'll see on that. But you know what? Fuck all of you. All right. It's the end of the show. Going upstairs. It's workbench time. Thank you guys for hanging out. Best 9 hours every week. Richie Smalls, Josh in the chat, NYG fan, Bruce, all you guys. You guys are awesome. Everyone else that I didn't mention, G Sauce, Zach. See you guys all in the chat. Kegs live show. We love all you guys. You're the best. Appreciate everyone hanging out. But for me, JSU, Big T, Uncle Dunkel, and Mr. ODB, Simon, get us the fuck out of here.